This man drafted up a purity contract, which means keep your hands off my daughter.
You feel like I was doing too much?
I was surprised when it didn't come earlier. I'm just kidding.
We have our daughter and our son-in-law, LaTerria and Tay COSBY. Oh, my bad. My grandbaby Claire. Claire, look at you. During the wedding, you heard some negative people talking about, see, his daughter ain't there. She don't approve of this marriage. What would you like to say to that?
That's so silly. My dad is my best friend. I love Ashley. She's so kind. She's sweet. You just feel like a safe space. So I think it's very silly that everyone thought that I did not support this because I was the first person to be able to see this transpire. Yeah. And I had a baby. Claire was 3 months. So I've had people say, well, why could they just postpone it? I'm like, postpone their wedding?
Tay, what made you marry this woman?
We became adults together. Through all of that, you get to learn pretty quick if the person beside you is the right person. And I knew. Even when I didn't have the money to do it, I proposed. I was like, I'll figure out the rest of that later on. I had a very inexpensive ring.
Put perspective around that. A lot of young men are afraid to propose because they feel like they can't afford to.
When people hear cheap, they hear $1,000. They hear $2,000. It couldn't have been more than like $150.
I want to salute you as a man for covering my daughter properly. I would be remiss if I didn't celebrate you this Father's Day.
I see a logo on this bag. Hold on.
What logo do you see? LaTerria was born my senior year of high school, 2 weeks before I walked across the stage. She came to my graduation as a baby. That changed the trajectory of my life. I walked down the aisle with her in my arms. People are amazed by how transparent I am on Dear Future Wifey, but it's because I started that out in my private life. I remember a conversation that you and I had where I first told you about the infidelity that I had. The greatest thing I had to do was confess my faults with someone that looked at me like Superman. You have been very open about the journey of an angel baby. Unpack that.
You don't want to hear this part, Dad.
What started as a search for understanding became a journey of transformation. Every letter that I wrote led me to this day, the day I got married.
November the 22nd, 2025. Dear my forever.
Forever is a long time. That's how long I'll love you. Those lyrics echo through every fiber of my soul at the very thought of you.
This journey has culminated with you as both the award and the reward of my pursuit of love. You are the award, the honor God placed before me, the recognition of growth, healing, and becoming the man I needed to be.
And you are the reward, the blessing given after endurance, the gift promised to those who refuse to faint.
This isn't just our story. This is for all of us. I'm Laterras R. Whitfield.
And I'm Ashley R. Whitfield.
Welcome to the Dear Future Wifey podcast.
Welcome to the Dear Future Wifey podcast. I'm your host, Laterras R. Whitfield.
And I'm Ashley R. Whitfield.
Listen, are you still shacking up with us? Come on, if you're still shacking up with us, we're season 11. Hit that subscription button and subscribe. Make sure you turn on your notification bell so you'll be notified about upcoming episodes. Listen, Ashley and I were looking through the analytics a couple of days ago, and what did we find?
We found that 52% of you who tune in every week are not subscribed.
So what's up with that?
What's up with that?
I know y'all want somebody to make a commitment to y'all, but y'all haven't been making a commitment to the podcast that has been healing you, that have been giving you wisdom and knowledge on your relationship journey, whether you're married, single, divorced. We do a lot of work making sure that we put this content out consistently on a weekly basis. And the least you can do is hit a subscription button, and it's free. It's absolutely free. Let me tell you why that's important is because a lot of advertisers, we're signed to Urban One as a podcast network. And when they're trying to sell ads for the podcast, they look at the subscribers, they look at how many people are viewing daily and weekly. And that's how they determine whether or not they want to support the podcast. And if we can't get support, then guess what? We have to get off the air. So we need y'all to do the small ask and hit that subscription button. Well, today's episode is extremely special to us. This is going to be a special Father's Day episode. And without further ado, Ashley, who do we have? We have, she done, look at that. Said she wanted to redo it so that she could introduce them, but here we go. So without further ado, we have our daughter and our son-in-law, LaTerria and Tay COSBY.
Let's go.
Hey, y'all.
Hey.
Look at them. Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to throw shade on you, Claire.
She's like, hello.
And my granddaughter, my grandbaby Claire. Claire,
hey.
look at you. How you doing, Claire?
You want to say how you doing? Oh. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Oh, she don't want it.
Now you don't want it. All right. So we're going to try to do this as much as possible with Claire in the episode. How old is Claire, y'all?
She just turned 10 months today.
Mm-hmm.
So
10.
she is a ball of fun and chaos.
Oh yeah, heavy on the chaos.
Yeah. No, not she. So I just switch back between both of us.
Yeah, y'all just switch back and
Yep.
forth as y'all keep going back and forth.
Yep.
You can be with me.
So let me ask you this, LaTerria. How do you feel being on Dear Future Wifey podcast again? You were on here with Ladarian and Armani. How many years ago was that?
A long time. Like at the very beginning.
So it's like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah, it was a long time.
Yeah. Yeah. You weren't even married then, were you?
I don't think so.
No, you wasn't even married.
Yeah.
No, because I kept saying that I can't wait to have y'all on as a couple.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
You
Tay.
said once we get married.
Tay, what made you marry this woman?
Starting there, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, there's tons of things that I can say, but we've known each other for a very long time. For anyone who doesn't know our story, we started dating in high school back in 2013, but we've known each other since we were in the 7th grade. So there's been just so many experiences. We went off to college together. We became adults together and weathered so many storms, not our own making, just dealing with life and becoming adults. And through all of that, I think you get to learn pretty quick if the person beside you is the right person. And I knew. So even when I didn't have the money to do it, I proposed. I was like, I'll figure out the rest of that later on. Yay! This is a story of how you came to be. Yeah, but out of all of that, I just knew that's who I wanted to be with. So I proposed. I had a very inexpensive ring. I got what I could. And I was like, we'll make the wedding thing work. So
Can you
We
put
did.
perspective around that? Because a lot of young men are afraid to propose because they feel like they can't afford to. So put a little bit of like perspective
Oh,
around
how
what-
much did that ring cost?
it
I
couldn't
still
have
have
been.
it on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, it couldn't have been more than like $150, and that's gonna be like a huge shock because when people hear cheap, they hear 1,000, they hear 2,000, like that's
mean
not cheap.
cheap.
I mean actually cheap.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think that goes to speak to more of her as a woman. I can't just say like for men, you know your partner. Like for some women, I think to them it is important. Like they find value in the ring, like how big the wedding is, like all those things play a part into like what they look and have dreamed about their entire life. So I can't take that away from them. But to her credit, she valued marriage above a wedding. She valued marriage above the cost of a ring. She was like, that's my person. That's who I want to be with. However we make that happen, we make that happen. And at that time, I wasn't as successful as I am today. So I think you as a man, you get to really appreciate that perspective. Like you get to really appreciate when somebody is like, I want you. The other stuff doesn't matter. When that
Yes.
seems to be different a lot of the time. So I want to give more credit there. But if you are self-harming in that way and you're just kind of like self-sabotaging and thinking that the money is the problem, like don't let that blocker be there before you actually propose the idea. And if there's hesitation, then it's there. But I just wouldn't like cut that off immediately. I would have open and honest conversations and be like, hey, you're my person. I want to be with you. This is where we are right now. That's not where we'll always be.
That part. So, LaTerria, what made you have that philosophy?
I just liked him. And I was tired. I don't want to say tired of being his girlfriend because I wasn't afraid I wasn't going to be able to be with him. It just didn't matter to me. I just knew I was going to spend the rest of my life with him. And I knew we would be happy. And that's just what I knew. So I wasn't worried about like, I wasn't one of those girls who like had a Pinterest board of like weddings or like rings that I had in mind. I just found a man that I love. And that was enough for me, I guess.
And so money was never an issue for you.
No, it wasn't.
And we talked about that, about the ring. He first got the ring as a promise ring because you had lost your promise ring. And so he went to go replace it and then said, no, this is the real thing. What made you pivot like that, Tay?
You know, I think after being together for so long, it feels like I was about to make a second promise, which what's the point in that? Like I made the first promise the first time, and the gap in time from her losing the promise ring to me getting the second one, it's like we're not the same people as when I initially made that first promise. And the new promise felt like it was supposed to be something bigger. It felt like it was supposed to be permanent. So I felt crazy on the inside if I would have tried to string her along with another promise ring. And clearly the opportunity presented itself to be like, no, like, do what you're supposed to do. Like
another promise ring.
Yeah,
like that's my third one.
That, but that is a good point. I was happy just to get a new ring after losing one. So
yeah.
All right, so let's talk about this. Y'all got together at what age, and how old are y'all now?
we were 17. So our junior summer
good
going
boy.
into senior year. So yeah, 17. And now we just turned 30 as of a month and a half, 2
You
months
weren't
ago.
supposed to have no boyfriend, no junior year
I
going your
got caught
senior year.
up.
Trust me, we've been through this.
You know what's funny?
on.
I remember when I was like, he was going to take me on a date for our 1 year anniversary. You was like, 1 year what? Being together. You ain't supposed to have no boyfriend.
Yeah.
I'm like, Dad, this man has been picking me up for the past year. We have
Yes.
had Valentine's Day, Christmas. What did you think this was?
I thought y'all was
Yeah,
classmates.
what did you think that
I
was?
just thought there was some friends that, first of all,
On
Tay.
Valentine's Day?
Literally.
So listen, y'all gonna try to make it sound like I'm slow. I'm not slow. This is what they had told me. Like Tay, she went to Booker T. He went to school way out in Forney, not Forney, Terrell,
Yeah.
and Terrell, and so they couldn't see each other.
We were seeing each other.
How?
He was driving to see me like weekly, maybe
Yeah,
like twice
sometimes
a
No,
twice a
your
week.
senior year.
week. Yeah.
Yeah, that was in your senior. Hold on.
We
You
started dating junior summer,
the summer of our
into
junior
senior
year.
year. Our whole senior year we were together. We started dating in the summertime. That was like our first couple dates, like at North Park or something.
She said she was 17.
Yeah, but I'm trying to think. Was you doing that when you was at your mama's house?
No, I was with you.
I know that you would see. Hold on. You said at North Park.
Yeah.
So I remember. Why do I? Only time I remember y'all seeing each other was when the first time he asked to see you was at school, and he asked could he stop by at school to come bring you a gift for Valentine's Day.
That's when you
No.
decided to
No,
let
no,
him
no.
in your life, I guess, because you took me to the mall to go see him in
Yes.
North Park.
And you
Oh
specifically
yeah,
took her with
I
a friend.
took you
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I took you there to go see it. But
Yes.
my brain thinking he came and picked you up, and I was like, that ain't.
No, you took me there.
Okay, I was like, when did I said I got to go
I was
to the
chill.
doctor or something?
No.
I said I don't remember him
It
coming
took
pick
some
you up.
build up for him to pick me up. And stuff.
Yeah,
It took a while.
okay.
Yeah,
That's
we
what it
didn't
was.
jump straight into that. So
Yes. Amen. So y'all knew each other from the 7th grade. And but 7th grade, y'all was just cool. Y'all were just friends.
No, I liked him. Well, it was cool, but I liked him. I was like,
And then what you think, Tay?
The thing is, this is where things get funny because I liked her as well, but we were initially good friends. So I was like, you don't know, like somebody's nice to you, but we're cool. So you know what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
don't want to break that and like kind of make it awkward when things are going good, just like they are. So I never like acted on anything, and obviously neither did she. So I think she's having.
What she want to do?
You
you
want
may want
mommy
her
now?
bottle. You want Baba?
All right, go.
Man, we can try to get you your bottle.
Okay.
Yeah, she just want to live with her mama.
She trying to take it
Put
off
your
herself.
Pepsi out.
She said, I want it now.
I'm glad he didn't act on
She's
it
so
in the
cute.
7th grade because you would have lost it.
Oh, I would have, boy. They wouldn't have been here right now. He
I
would have been
know.
alive right now. We've been talking about this boy that she knew.
That is so funny.
So in 7th grade, you didn't know really what it was. And one thing that I've always liked about Tay is Tay was more on the side of the nice guy, the little nerdy guy, the guy that wasn't out there, trying to date a bunch of girls and all that. He was just he's the guy that you want to take home to meet your dad. So when I met him, I never was like, what are your intentions? I was never like that. I was just like, this is a good dude. And we'll get to that a little later. But so in the 7th grade, she was crushing on you. You didn't know what it was. You was like, let's be friends. What happened going into the senior year of high school that made y'all start whatever y'all was?
I remember
This
what
is
happened.
funny. I know. You're gonna want to chime in on this for sure. But so funny story is, I don't know where you want to start with this. 'Cause I don't know if you
How
want
we
the first
started
dibs
talking,
or
like literally how we started talking again.
how we first came back to see each other. This is the funny thing. So
Yeah.
I'm in a summer engineering camp. You're speaking to like nerdy
Well, I
kids.
wasn't
So
talking about that.
No.
Oh, okay. Well,
It's just
I
funny.
guess if you
Hey.
want to go way back
no,
there.
we're telling the whole story.
Yeah.
So I'm in summer engineering camp. Again, testament to the nerdy kid, and I'm having a good time, enjoying my life. Of course, young, somebody's a little like interested in me, so I end up dating somebody. We get to the graduation ceremony, and lo and behold, this girl that I'm dating ends up walking in with no other than LaTerria.
She was like my best friend. We're really cool.
Yeah, and I was like, man, like me and that girl were like super cool back in the day. Like we had such a good friendship. Like I was like, yeah, man, like I'll reach out to her later. But again, still thinking like I did. Like nothing came of it. She never like acted like she was interested in me. So I'm like, yeah, we're just friends. We'll talk, whatever. And of course, like that's how that kind of proceeded. Time passed, no longer with that girl. And from us just still being friends on social media and stuff like that, I end up dating different people. And you gotta see
did I.
Yeah, as did she. She wasn't just waiting on me. And after you start seeing like the character of some people and just kind of like how some people operate through life, I was like, I feel like there was something back there. Like I'm like, maybe I'm tripping. You start replaying all of these like memories and things. Like, was I crazy? Was I not? So I end up texting her, and I was like, hey, like, never crossed that boundary before, but like, I've liked you, and like I felt like there might have been something there, but I'm interested in getting to know you. If you're interested in getting to know me. And she told me no because she had a boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
She was,
Did you know about this boy? You met this
she was
boyfriend.
dating somebody. Yeah.
The only boyfriend that you would ever count. Well, you probably don't even count.
I don't count that boy.
Well, that was my boyfriend.
So that's what she told me. Nope.
No, that boy don't count. You talking about the one that went to church with us that time?
I don't remember details.
He was-
But sure, let's go with him.
Because I'm like, that boy don't count.
Okay. But that was my boyfriend. He
Man,
had a
that little
pattern. I see a pattern.
Yeah, because that boy didn't count. Man, and he was sitting up here texting his homeboy talking about, oh yeah, he over here, we going to church and all that. He was talking so bad about me.
Really?
Yeah, I saw it on his Facebook. Talking,
Oh, that's crazy.
I'm in the back seat. We over here going to church and this. I said, oh, that's all I need to see.
Yeah.
You sure ain't
man.
going. You sure ain't gonna be in the picture. Oh, whack dude. And then come find out
okay,
later
Mama.
on in life, I found out that Tay never was taken to church like that. He walked himself to church.
Yes.
So think about the memory that I have. The first memory I talk about was you having a quote unquote boyfriend, which don't count. And this guy is upset that I invited him to church with you. And then later on, I found out that Tay found out it was a church down the street and walked himself to church. I want y'all to just sit in that.
Yeah. Let that
Little
sit.
hater boy. Whoever he is.
So that's who I was dating at the time. But I'm not a cheater. So I was like, well, I have a boyfriend.
You know, I respected that.
And
like,
then what did you say? What was your follow-up text? Because that's the funny part.
That's
That's
true.
true.
Up fast?
Yeah, she's a hungry girl.
no, yeah, she definitely was
How
hungry.
was she drinking
Clearly.
air?
It's a little
It's
bit.
just the tiniest corner left.
Can you give me her passy?
She gonna be
Probably
milk
fall asleep.
wasted in a minute. Look, she
Here you go,
is.
mama.
She gone. Good. She gonna go sleep. Hand me that.
Yeah, she probably will end up asleep soon. But
Good.
so yeah, I ended up texting her back after she said that, and I was like, cool. Let me know when y'all break up.
And I was so offended.
Well played.
And I was offended because when you're not thinking you're gonna date somebody to break up. I wasn't thinking this is my husband, but I was just like, ugh, cocky.
That's how
But
you
guess
supposed to
what?
be.
We
Tay.
broke up. I said, you know what? Let me text Let me text Tay.
So how long was you with him?
I don't know.
You don't remember? It had to be like
Yeah.
a week or two. That's what I'm saying.
I
It
really don't
count.
know. I really don't know.
Best don't count.
Yeah.
Yeah, people
Have
be
no
having these relationships. I'd be like, they ain't no
That's
relationship.
how it is as a kid. You don't talk and date. You jump right into like boyfriend and girlfriend.
Yeah, and it
Remember?
lasts for 35 hours.
Yeah. And you be like, oh no, you be sad, and then you move on.
That's why Tay said, call me when
Yeah.
y'all
no,
break up.
seriously.
Yep.
He prophesied it.
Yep.
Yeah, I did.
And then what happened? So you called him?
I texted him and I was like, hey, I'm single.
Yeah, she
And
did.
then we talked on the phone that whole entire night.
Yes, literally
Yeah.
all night. Like,
Yeah.
and that's what the thing was. I text you back, and he was like, "I don't know why you texting me. Just call me." And I was like,
because I'm on the phone
All
kind
right.
of person. I like
me
to
too.
actually,
Yeah.
Me
Same.
too.
So, yeah.
"Yeah." So that's how that happened, and we would talk all the time, get to know each other better. And that's how that happened.
And then so y'all his senior year, I remember there was a picture on social media that went viral with me standing behind you. You had went and brought her a gift.
Oh, yeah.
And I was looking at you like me mugging you. And y'all was sitting in the picture. You had called because typically I would pick up LaTerria after school and we'll head. Like, so as soon as school's over, I'm picking up. And you called and asked, can I wait a little? First of all, could you see her? And would it be... though it may be a little inconvenient for me to wait, could I allow y'all to spend some time together while you brought her that gift? You remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And what was that conversation like?
So you mean like between us or between?
Yeah,
okay,
between
got
us.
you. Yeah, I think for me, I try to put myself in the other person's shoes. Now I'm imagining like, all right, I'm reaching out. I'm trying to see somebody's daughter. I'm like asking to bring her stuff because I can't even imagine like a little boy try to give her a necklace, like it's going right back.
In the
like
trash.
like a little
learn
bracelet, it's
nothing.
going right back. Like whoever gave it to you, it's going back.
It was a wasted investment.
Yeah, and I mean like you never know like what's to somebody appropriate. I know like your stance on like dating in general, like boyfriends in general, and all that stuff. So I can respect the stance that you took. So I think it's really easy to be like, all right, it's a clear line of he wants to protect his daughter. If I want to pursue her, like, how do I operate in a safe space to not be there for her, not like follow like what you are expecting her dating life to look like? So that's where that really came from. I was like, I can't just like imagine me just pop it up. I'm like, I got gifts, I got that. You're like, I'm trying to go. I got stuff to do. I got places to be. She's
Now he
supposed
don't
to be
like
here.
you.
Yeah, I mean, like you never just want to like throw yourself into somebody else's life when they are the parent. They're the ones making like the ultimate decisions of what like they want for their children. And especially, hopefully, you have power over influencing who they date. So I'm like, clearly, this man loves his daughter. He wants the best for her. I'm very interested in her. I want what's best for her. I'm going to find a way to find some middle ground to make sure that I'm like respecting everybody's boundaries.
And you thought that as a senior in high school?
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
So what did you know about me at that time, if you can recall? What did you know about me involved in her life or not involved in her life? What did you just know about me, period, that made you have that level of respect to even want to call me?
I would say, honestly, not really anything. I think we've had very little conversations or like, again, through me talking to her, maybe you have some input or things that you would say that I think initially set the tone without us having to have like a just flat out, like lay everything on the table type of conversation. I think the way you like carry yourself, the representation of like who your daughter is, like I think depending on her personality and the things that she involved herself with, you definitely get a feel for like what that family's like. And if she wasn't who she was and raised the way that she was raised, I wouldn't have been interested in the first place.
That's deep.
Yeah.
But
That
I
was
think
deep.
that really like set the foundation for me to understand like who I was dealing with and what type of family I was dealing with.
So when you met her, what values are attached to what you just said?
That's good.
I would say self-respect first. Like I don't think she's ever done anything that I've seen that she's like boy crazy or like has a certain rap or reputation amongst like any group of boys. I think that's like, again, first, because it's very easy to, if those values aren't instilled in you at home, kind of operate differently. And it's not hard for reputations to move around, especially when your kids, like one person blink 3 times in one space, everybody in the whole room know it. And now everybody in the cafeteria
Rumors
know it.
spread
And like, I got kids at other school. You heard about that kid blinking? Like, so like, you can't keep anything under wraps. So I just think her reputation and how she carried herself, her self-respect, I think she was well-spoken from a point of like respecting other people. Like, again, she was a good person and a good friend to have even in the 7th grade. So I think talking to her more and more going into our junior and senior year, like that was just like a continuation.
How important was it, LaTerria, for me to approve of the guy that you dated?
It was the importance. Like it wasn't, I lived with you. So how am I going to want to go on a date with the guy that you don't know nor like? That wasn't an option.
Well, you could be rebellious. You'd be like, I don't care what you say. I like him and I don't care. And I'm running away from home. You see that a lot. You see girls be like, I don't care what you say. I'm running away from home. So she runs away from home with Johnny.
I guess it was never that deep for me. Why would I? Because at that point, I'm choosing a little boy over my dad. So that's weird. Like I'm saying, oh, my dad, I'm going to go be with this boy who can't take care of me. That doesn't make sense.
Take care of me.
That doesn't make sense. So it wasn't like a conscious decision. I just respected you and I loved you. So I want you to, we're friends. Like you're my dad, but you're my friend too. Like you taught me about dating and little boys say this, and they lying. Like you taught me all these things to look out for. So it was almost like as if I was talking to my friend and wanted my friend to like my boyfriend. It felt very similar to that, I guess.
So why did it feel like a daddy that was just hating? Like why couldn't it have felt like, because there's an extreme. There's an ideology where you go, you old, you don't know. I know more than you, and you're not gonna like any boy, because that's the rhetoric of saying nobody's gonna be good enough for me.
Yeah.
So I don't expect you to like anybody.
The thing is, you were not friends, but like when I would bring my friends around, you got along with them. There was different. You mentored people's sons. You never were mean or like judgmental or standoffish to anybody. So it really wasn't. Like I said, the thought never popped in my head for me to be thinking that you were jealous or doing too much.
Hating on you.
Yeah, I was like, this is my dad. My dad not going to let me be with just anybody. So like, I just respected it.
What did you like about Tay?
When you mentioned that he was like the stereotypical, I guess, nice guy, he was my first nice guy. He was like the first guy I didn't have to like try to impress or chase to like me or like, he just liked me and I just liked him and I can be myself around him. I could just talk to him all the time. I wasn't too pushy. I wasn't overbearing. I wasn't, clingy. Like I just could just be his friend and it was just natural. Which
is key, and I'm glad you said that, is that you had a propensity for toxicity. You were attracted to the worst boys.
Even as a junior in high school. That's crazy.
Yeah, and I was like, why do you like the worst, like the worst one?
Yeah.
And where do you think that comes from?
I don't know. I'm not going to pretend like I know. I don't know. I just think it's like that's your environment. That's the boys that are out there. So you're like, well, so-and-so likes him, so he must be a catch, I guess. So he is cute. And then you start thinking that dating or people having these tendencies, like something very petty is I remember like having boys that I liked in high school and they would go to parties and they would like dance with girls, like twerking with them. And I used to be so upset about that because I'm like, why would you want to, if you're in a relationship, why would you want to do that? And then I had boys in my ear and girls in my ear saying, girl, that's not cheating. That's normal. So then I said, okay, I guess that's normal. I guess my standards are just weird. And I don't want to like not be liked because like I'm doing too much. So let me just accept that you go to parties and you dance on people. That's just the reality of what it is. But then now I started dating Tay and I was going to parties and he was like, you on a party? Like, first of all, he was turned off. Like, why are you going to parties? To do what? Like, people go to parties to meet people and to date and dance. You have a boyfriend. Why are you doing that? But he didn't tell me I couldn't go. Obviously, you can't because I'm in 7th grade.
Why.
He just said, okay. And I would invite him. He'd be like, I'm not going.
So did you consider yourself a Christian back then?
Oh, absolutely.
And so you had a standard where you just didn't believe in going to parties like that?
Yeah, I mean, it bleeds into both. I think it, at my core, comes from like morality, and that comes from my Christian background, so hand in hand. But
But I was a Christian and I went to parties.
I'm aware. Trust me, I'm aware.
What you trying to say?
I'm aware.
I'm aware.
He just said his standard
My
was not
morals.
that. That's your morals. I'm saying my morals.
That's your walk with God, not mine.
I went to a few parties myself,
Thank
so
you.
I understand.
Thank you. That's fine.
Yes.
Nothing wrong with whatever you want to do. I'm just saying, for me, when I'm looking, in my house, that's funny.
Me in my house.
Nah, just my standards for myself, and I think like I know what the environment is. I know what you're putting yourself around.
Yeah.
People like you, think you're cute, so want to pull you here.
Yeah.
People were also shooting back then at parties.
Oh
yeah, it's not safe.
Yeah.
Oh, it was crazy.
Yeah.
And so my whole philosophy was like, Tay, before I, rededicated my life to Christ, when I was 18 years old, when I was, you're about to come into this world. So those that don't know, LaTerria was born my senior year of high school, 2 weeks before I walked across the stage. She came to my graduation as a baby, and that changed the trajectory of my life. That December, the 26th, I gave my life to Christ and never looked back. No, December 22nd. December 22nd, I gave my life to Christ and never looked back. And I walked down the aisle with her in my arms. And so at 18, I didn't believe in going to parties. From that point on, I was just like, nope. Because the night before I went to church, I was in this club. Those that live in Dallas, y'all remember this club called Lakeside. And so I was in Lakeside, and then the music is going on. You heard Luke's song, it's your birthday, pop that coochie, baby. All this crazy music and these words. And I remember listening, and I had this standard to where if I met a girl at a club, I would never meet a girl. I wouldn't ask her phone number. I kept saying, I don't want no woman there if I meet at a club. And then I would dance with you because I love to dance, but I'm not going to get your phone number. I'm not going to go home with you. That's just it. I'm going to leave you where I met you. But that night, I was sitting in that environment, and I just saw spirits floating over people's heads. I just started seeing spirits. People were drinking, and I just kept seeing these spirits. I said, what in the world is this? My homeboy, Monterey Bible, shout out to Monterey Bible, he had invited me to come to church the next day. He said, I want you to come to church. I said, well, I'm going to go to this club first, and then if I get up early in the morning, I'll go to church with you. He's like, man, just please. And I was like, I can't make you no promises. And so I saw these spirits just floating over people's head, and I was like, what in the world is this? And I'm watching people, and everything started moving slow. I just kept hearing the music like, and it just sounded like that. And I was just looking around, and I said, what in the world? And of course, I didn't drink. I never drank a day in my life. So I'm watching this, and I'm going, what is God trying to show me? And God said, look at this environment. Look at the spiritual warfare that's going on. And I was just looking around. I was listening to the music, and then people would say, I don't listen to the words to the music. I just listen to the beat. And I was like, no, I'm really big on words. So I would listen to the words, and they'd be like, all the H's come to the dance floor. And they'd run out there. And I was like, now, if I called this woman an H, she would slap me. But if the music calls her that, she runs out and dances to it. I said, this is weird. So I just started being very, very overly analytical about everything that was going on, just watching the spiritual ramifications of everything. And then, the girl sitting up there, she dancing, dudes up by her. I said, now, if the music wasn't playing and I walked up to a girl on the street and put my penis against her buttocks, she gonna slap me and it's a sexual assault case. But with music is playing, we can say it's dancing, it's cool. And she's like, I don't want you dancing. All right, cool. But I get a chance to get a quick little feel like that if the music is playing. So I was looking, I was like, wow, this is amazing how you can do this in this environment. Outside this environment is not okay. And I just started watching, and then God said, I want you to go to church in the morning. And I was like, all right. Left there, called up Montre that early that morning at 7 o'clock in the morning. I said, you don't have to catch the bus, because he would catch the bus to go to church. I said, I'm going to pick you up and I'm going to go to church. I had LaTerria, because my mom used to watch all the time. My mom is right over there, y'all. Hopefully she'll make an appearance. But my mom, she was at home. I got LaTerria when I came back. I came home and I went to church, and my life has never been the same. And so when you see pictures and videos, well, it wasn't even much videos. I don't know if you saw the video that I posted last year when I did, the year before last at IBOC. But when you look back at pictures, seeing us how tight and we was thick as thieves as that, when you were that young, what do you think about that?
I want Clear to have that. That's really what I think. I'm like, I can't wait for her to realize how cool it is having a dad that loves her. That's all I think. I talk about that all the time.
She talks about that a lot, Tay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's a really important thing for her. And she says, like, tons of affirmations, like, such a great dad. Like, she has such a great dad. Like, so I think she really values, like, her having a present father and somebody who's, like, actively wanting to be in her life and be there for all the moments. So those things are true.
Let me tell you what's so different about what you are able to do that I didn't. And it just wasn't even meant to be. But you married the mother of your child, and you married her before she became before she became a mother of your child. And so that's so beautiful that you created the standard. Y'all create the standard together, how important, or maybe I don't know, since I don't know a lot of stuff about when y'all was dating, was y'all ever trying to have kids before y'all got married?
Absolutely not.
Okay, I was trying to figure out. 'Cause
That
y'all
was like a fear. Like that was like a, if
Why is it a
if that
fear?
happened.
How's it a fear? Y'all shouldn't be having sex. How's it a fear?
No, like the concept of
Oh,
it.
the concept
Yeah.
of it. Okay.
Theoretically speaking.
Yeah, theoretically.
It would be a fear.
speaking.
Yes.
Okay, that's what you was talking about.
Yes.
In case y'all sat too close and accidentally got
Yes.
pregnant.
Yes.
That part. Okay, that makes sense.
That was very scary.
That was very serious.
Absolutely.
Yes. Amen. Amen. That makes a whole lot of nonsense.
Okay, we gotta clear that up.
Yeah, good. On the record.
On the record. Y'all decide to go off to college together. Why?
Because we just liked each other so much.
Yeah.
We were like, no, because honestly, when you think about it, we started dating our junior summer going to senior year. We just really like got close. It had just hit a year. And I think in my head, I was thinking, if we go to separate colleges, we're not going to survive. And that's not saying I didn't like him enough or he didn't like me enough, but it's kind of just like,
That's real.
you're just separate. Like he would have his own life. I would have my own life. And we would try our best to make it work. But realistically speaking, it just wasn't going to work.
And so y'all just decided to go to Texas A&M and Corpus Christi. Was that a whole little plotting scheme y'all came up with? Because y'all just had to have, y'all just said, we going to go to school together and then apply together. Like, what was all that about?
We just applied
Okay.
to the same school.
Yeah.
And then if we both happen to get into the same school, then it was like, maybe it's meant to be. And it just happened.
And it happened.
And it happened.
That's so good.
Let's rewind it back. Y'all went to prom together.
We did.
We did.
How special was that?
That was fun. Sorry, I think I'm talking too much.
No, go for it. Yeah, no.
It was fun. I think the coolest thing about us having these memories together from high school is it just creates memories for us to show our children. Like, look, we were at prom together because not everybody can do that.
Yeah.
So I think the memories that we created in that moment, we didn't realize we were creating memories. We were just living in the moment. But now looking back at us as seniors, we're like, we were 18 years old and we thought we just were grown and knew this and knew that and we didn't know nothing. But now we learning something.
Yeah,
And we're more humble
learning
now.
something. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Wow, what did y'all think y'all knew back then that you come to find out you didn't know?
I really thought that being adult was easy. Like you just go to work and you know get married, have
You
kids.
make all the rules.
Yeah, you get to do whatever you want to do. Easy, fun.
That's what it's all about. You get to make your own rules.
Yes.
Oh yeah, like, no bedtime. Go to sleep when you want to.
Yeah.
Like you want Wingstop? Me too. Let's go.
Yeah,
Like,
like-
it was just simple.
Man, I'm talking about 2 a.m. Come on.
Yep.
Like, let's go.
Yep.
So looking back at knowing that y'all went to prom together, explain what happened at prom. What was that? Create the scene from your prom.
I feel like I probably have more of a perspective on that.
Yeah, you
'Cause
definitely
and
would.
boys just get dressed. Like for me, I remember him asking me to prom, and I was very excited. I knew we were going to prom together, but going back to 2014. Oh, that sounds whatever.
A long time ago.
Yeah. 2014, that's when promposal started.
Yeah.
So like he had to ask me to prom. Just because we were together doesn't mean we're just automatically going.
Yeah.
Just because we together.
Yeah,
that
you
means
have to
by
ask
default we
me.
going.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking
I
about,
get that.
yeah.
No, I get that.
Yeah.
He needed
That's
to
funny.
ask.
Like,
Yeah.
so if I
Make
don't
your
ask, you're not
intentions
going.
You ain't going.
You ask me. So I'm going to just go, and if you go, we go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Approach me correctly.
Yeah.
Nah, that's true.
So I remember you created a video of it, which is so funny because I feel like in those moments it just seemed like something silly your dad wanted to like record. But now I'm like, we have a video of you asking me to prom.
Yeah.
Like that's really cute.
Yeah.
And then so I remember that day getting dressed. She rented a hotel for me to get dressed in. And then I got my makeup done. I got to put on my dress. I remember you rented a horse-drawn carriage. It was a white horse, and then you had the horse wear like royal blue, whatever horses wear, I guess. And we wore royal blue. And then Tay came to the hotel. We walked downstairs. You had a photographer there.
Yeah, shout out to
So we got
Tony.
professional pictures taken.
Shout out
So
to
that was
Tony
cool
Pettiford,
because not
my
everyone
boy.
gets that.
Yeah.
And then we went to prom. Oh, then so our prom was in downtown. And so it was really cool riding the carriage through the streets of downtown because everybody's like looking at me like, you look so pretty. And I'm like waving like a little princess. And then he was there. It was like a fairy tale. It really was. It was just like, it was nice.
Did you feel like I was too strict because I didn't let you hang out prom night?
Yes. But now that I'm an adult, not at all too strict. Like
Yeah,
Claire's
yeah.
not gonna be home at 11. Maybe 11:30. Maybe 11:30.
Give me chaperoning.
Because Laterria experienced the same thing just about a month ago.
But he got to hang out a little bit.
Yeah, but I mean, he came home at 12 o'clock.
He did.
Yeah.
12 o'clock.
He did.
But
But
Laterria,
also
same
his
thing.
curfew, like, well, he wasn't driving, but
Yeah.
technically he's supposed to be.
Home by 12 by state.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guidelines.
But you knew back then, same thing, but those parents didn't care.
They didn't care.
They was getting hotel rooms for y'all.
They were going to parties. They were having all kind of stuff. And I was so jealous. I was like, I want to go to the party. But my dad won't let me. And I was the only person of my friends whose parent wouldn't let them do the after prom activities, because the prom was just kind of like you get cute and classy and take pictures, but the real turn up was after prom. That's what I heard.
And that's why I want LaTerria to hear that. LaTerria, shout out to LaTerria, he's doing the switching today, but he experienced the same thing where he was just
Rite of passage.
Man, I want to, like the friends are going here or whatever.
But then after the fact, he was like, the party wasn't apparently even that.
It's never as
Yeah.
It's always like, yeah, we just sat there and chilled and so-and-so was arguing in the corner. It's never like how they hype it up to be.
Yeah, you just want to be there just because.
Yeah.
Like,
So, Tay, did you feel a certain way? Well, you don't go to parties, so you
no, so I wasn't even tripping on that. So with that whole time-based thing, I think sometimes it feels like the moment can get cut short because you're enjoying the day. Everything is like, it's so much like anticipation leading up to the event.
And the key was for me to cut off that moment.
Okay.
I wanted to cut the moment short.
For sure.
Man, I was
Good job, I guess.
Thank you.
did.
I
He
want the
showed
moment
it.
to get too out of control.
Not too much of
Cut
a
it short.
moment.
It's hilarious. No, great job. No,
Because
but,
Great job.
I'm going to see if you keep that same energy with Claire.
oh, no, absolutely. Yeah, no.
Don't even worry about
You
it.
don't even have to project into the future. I can tell you today.
Yeah.
But, yeah, no.
Come back, Claire,
that's
you
not a
come back
crazy
at
thing.
3 in the morning.
No.
I'm taking you to
never,
prom. I'm picking you up. Get in the car. Let's go.
Claire, you'll be home by 11.
Yes.
No, I'll be right
But the
outside
prom
on my
ain't open
laptop
till
waiting.
midnight. I know.
Oh, well.
You're going to leave at 11. But isn't that crazy, though, as teenagers, you feel like your parents have been extremely strict, but they're being protective. And they're using wisdom at the end of the day. Because I've heard so many bad situations that happen after prom, not just pregnancy, but people getting in car accidents. They're dying. It's people, like you said, somebody come to a party, shoot it up. It's all kind of crazy stuff that's like, it's just not necessary for one night. And it's just prom.
I think it's because people feel grown too.
Yeah.
So
Because
like,
that's
we're
the first
grown now.
time they ever feel grown. Because they like, I'm dressed up. This is my senior year. I'm graduating. And in a teenager's mind, I am grown. And my mom never gave me a curfew. She never gave me a curfew. See, look at her. Did you ever give me a curfew, mama? No.
Really? So he can just be out to 2, 3.
I would come home at 2 o'clock in the morning. Come home when I feel like it. But prom, I came
he
in on
had a
time.
lot of leeway
And
growing up.
And look at you, a whole kid right there.
I'm about to say,
See
he
what
was
happened?
outside in the devil's hours, man. You out there too long.
You're right.
He had a lot of leeway. He was
But then I reined myself in my senior year, and so at prom, I went out and came right back home because I was just like, it's not necessary. But then like what I did from Thursday to Sundays, I would club. This is my senior, towards the end of my senior year, going in the summer. I would just be clubbing, and it got so boring. That's the reason why I don't even go to clubs now, or period. It's like, what is that? But I did all of that through 18, all the way to 18. That December, I was still 18, and I was like, this is crazy. So I got all out of my system, as they say. So it wasn't attractive to me. So then I also said, you know what? I want to teach my daughter what healthy boundaries look like. And I wasn't, even though you talk about how close friends we were or are, which is true, I still never want to be more of a friend than a father to you.
Oh, never.
Yeah,
That
I was like,
never
no,
the
we're going to be
case.
friends. We're going to be cool. You can talk to me about everything.
You just meant like it's an open door policy. You can tell me whatever, but like I'm your dad.
Did you feel like that you could tell me anything?
I did, for sure.
We had some interesting conversations.
Yes, yeah.
You think we had conversations that weren't typical of a father and daughter to talk about?
Maybe, but I feel like they should be talked about.
Yeah.
Because I for example, I want to be Claire's first like example or perspective on a lot of things in her life.
Yep.
So, I mean, I don't want her to be learning certain things from her friends who are just as naive as she is. So,
How important was it that your friends would call me and ask for advice?
number one, it made me realize how important and like lucky I was to have a father. Not even, I was going to say a father figure, but a father, because they didn't have that. So it made me think like, this is an important thing. Like, because you never were not in my life, So for me, your presence in my life was normal. So to see my friends use you as like a second parent in a way, like a person to seek advice from, it was kind of cool. Sometimes it would annoy me though.
Yeah.
But it was cool.
Because one time I went to your school and you had a whole problem. You started pulling the
because they were
kids
running
off.
up to you, and I'm like, this is my dad?
Yeah.
Like,
that's funny.
chill out. So I was getting kind of
Ashley,
annoyed.
she got mad one day. I went to the school, and every time I would go to the school, they would be like, Dad.
Yes,
And
that's what. Ooh, I'm getting mad. Because why would you say dad? Everybody looking like, so who daddy is that? That's my dad. Now
got
I'm
a
getting
whole
mad
bunch of
again.
kids.
Yeah, that's crazy. All different
Resource
colors.
garden dads.
It was all different colors. White, Hispanic, boys and girls, they just all run to me and say, Dad, and they will run up and bum rush me and hug me. LaTerria got mad one day. She went and started peeling the kids off. That's my dad. She started peeling. We talking about in high school. We talking about like junior.
I was over it.
Junior year in high school. She started grabbing kids and pushing them off. I said, LaTerria. She said, that's my dad. And then gonna hug me like she ain't seen me.
Because they were run up first. I'm like,
So
have
what were
some
you
decorum.
feeling emotionally in that moment?
Jealous.
Yeah.
But I didn't even know why I was jealous because I'm like, I get to see him every day. But I'm like, no, I think the word dad is what got to me. I was like, no, that is my dad. I don't know what you're going to call him, but dad is reserved for me.
What conversation did Kaylin have with you that brought you to tears and brought in perspective? You remember that?
I do. Like his dad wasn't very close in his life. So he just said like, seeing you in my life kind of like gave him hope in a way, or it gave perspective of like how different life could be if you do have a father in your life. So when I got that perspective, not gonna lie, being immature, it was like, I was still kind of irritated because I'm a kid too, you know, like it's hard to turn those emotions off and say, okay, I'm fine now. But it did give me perspective to where I was like, okay, just be patient, be gentle.
When she came home that day, she was like, Kaylin was crying in class and was saying that he wished he had a father like that and all that. And she said, I'm being a brat.
Yeah.
she said, I'm being
As
a
I
brat.
was a lot of times when I was that age. So
So you can see that?
for sure.
Really?
Absolutely.
How?
All the ways. I just was a brat. Like, and I wasn't like a brat in like I wanted everything my way kind of thing. It was more so when I didn't get something that I thought that I deserved, I was like, I would take offense to it. But I think it was because you just would just give me everything I want, to be honest. So when you would set the boundary, like, no, you're in trouble. I'm like, he for real. I'm really not gonna. What do you mean?
Yeah.
And it really hit my senior year.
So So you didn't get in trouble much.
I did, but his punishments were really different.
Yeah.
The way my dad would punish me is he would talk to me
Yeah.
for like a long time.
Yep.
And make me explain, so why did you make that decision?
Yes.
No, I want you to take
Yes.
me step by step.
Yeah.
And what brought you to that
Yep.
point. And
the reason he's laughing. Why are you laughing so
I'm not even laughing.
Why are you laughing so hard?
I'm not laughing at all.
Because we just had this conversation with Ladarian, and I said, do you ever give consequences? And
I said, yes, I get
I
consequences.
said, what are the consequences? And he said, well,
I never thought about that.
I said, because in life, there are consequences for everything you do when you become an adult.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You walk out here, you break the law. There's a
Yes.
consequence, right? You go to college, you don't submit your papers. There's a consequence. You don't go to class. There's a consequence. You run a red light. There's a consequence. So I was like, what are the consequences here? And so I'm really glad to hear this from you.
Sorry, Dad. I just kind of
Because
put you on the spot.
no, it's good. It's good
Yeah.
because he's so good. But he loves to have a conversation. But we've been talking a lot about consequences and how they don't have to be, the harshest of the harsh.
Right.
But what are they? Because
there has to be something.
yeah, just for learning in the future.
Yeah.
Right. Like when we put a consequence in place, it discourages, hopefully, that behavior in the
Yes.
future.
Well, let's unpack this then. So you said I didn't give. Do you think I gave consequences or not? Because you said all I do was have you break down and rethink how you did it, how you rose to the decision that you made. What would have been different if should I have did that and then gave you a consequence, or just do like
I think the
the other
conversation.
parent did and just give you a consequence?
I think the conversation aspect was helpful because it really made
Absolutely.
me think like, well, why did I do that? Because
Yeah.
that was dumb. So it made me have to really rethink like, why did I make that decision? But you didn't really give me any consequences. Like you didn't take my phone or you didn't take the TV. I could still kind of go places.
You notice they say this after they can no longer get in trouble.
Yeah,
I know.
Like, it's like you could have been meaner after you can no longer
We're
get
saying this now. But the conversation is absolutely essential. Like even as when they're young, right? Like I did this in education. Like you do want to explain what it is. So it's not just like because I said so, because you're basically teaching people how to make decisions, or you're teaching your children how to process all of that when they're going through or when they're up against a challenge. And then I feel like there's two parts to it. Like you said, if we're having the issue, let me take away the phone or let me, but I always tell Ladarian, he is such a safe space.
Yes.
Because there is no consequence.
Really, you can just say,
There are consequences. I don't care what y'all say.
Consequence.
There
I
is a
don't think
consequence.
so.
It is.
So I'm gonna give you
Give me an
some more
I
credit
took your
here.
phone before.
Yeah, he for
remember
sure
that.
has. I mean, I know he has for
Listen, you
sure.
remember I took your phone and bought you new?
Yes, and I was in
And
trouble.
bought you
And
a
he
new
took my Galaxy and brought me an iPhone and
be
said,
like-
you better act
Well, that
right.
is funny.
Wait, he'll be like, "You're grounded, Ladarian. Okay, what kind of computer do you want?"
Literally.
Well, let me get you the most.
I'm over here
Can
at Best Buy.
Wait, he's like, Ashley, is a $2,000 computer? I'm like, he's grounded. but he
Where are we
needs it.
computer
I said, you going
shopping?
to college, you need a computer.
He does, and he does, but it's just the consequence
Yeah.
part. Yeah.
So I'm going to tell y'all my problem, because I can speak about my problem.
Yeah, go for it.
My problem is I offer grace.
Yes.
LaTerria said this one day. Matter of fact, I'm not even going to say it. Because you just brought up the phone situation. What did you say to me when you got that phone?
I remember I said that that's something that like Jesus or God would do. They would bless you with something even though you don't deserve it, but they would say, I'm going to give you this, learn from your mistake, and take care of this.
And she said that to me.
I was crying, too.
She was crying, and because she was in trouble. So the truth was, she was in trouble. I did ground her, and she knew that when I get really upset, then it's like, you know what? Like, because there's been times I whooped her, but I'm gonna talk to you way more. I probably whooped her twice in her whole life.
Yeah.
But I'm going to talk to you.
Yeah.
For a long time, like she
Yes.
said.
A long time.
Literally.
Nobody asked you.
You never want to do it again. I'm never doing this again. Is
So
she
the
gonna
talking,
talk to
it
me?
sounds like the talking was
It
the
did.
punishment.
Yeah,
The talking was the punishment.
True.
She's tired of hearing it.
The
She just
talk
like,
is the
"Oh,
punishment. I will go to bed. I'll go to bed at midnight, and Ladarian will still be up. I'm like, how long y'all talking? It'll be like 2 a.m. I'm like, what kind of conversation? So he gonna talk.
Because I be wanting to talk to him and get some understanding.
Yeah.
Because the thing about it is that I grew up in a generation, and my mom can attest to it, is that they'll just whoop you and that's the consequence. And then you never have a conversation about what you did, why you did it, what's this. Because at that time, your frontal lobe ain't even developed.
Yep.
So the part of your brain where you're making logic reasoning is not even there. And so you're just making decisions and you get a whooping because you ain't supposed to do it, but no one is talking to you about why and what's an alternative.
Yeah.
And so maybe I went to extreme and just said, we're going to talk. And I want to get to a place to where you can articulate what you did wrong and how you won't do it again. That's all I care about. And if you can get to that point, then we good. Like, I don't hold grudges. I don't be like, well, that's why you did this yesterday. I don't care.
You didn't bring it up later either.
I don't bring
Like
it up
one side.
later. It be done. I just be like, you've learned that. It's fine. We move on. Now, let's go get something to eat. You know what I'm saying?
I personally loved it.
I'm sure you did. I'm sure you did.
I was like, this is great.
Yeah.
I think the key word is, and I don't like this word balance, because I feel like we're more like life is more about harmony. But I do think that with children, there is just the balance in providing like, okay, this is what happens in the real world, you know? So there is consequences for actions.
Yeah.
But
I agree.
also there's a healthy amount of talking, which he excels in. He excels.
Mama,
in.
nobody asked you. She's talking about, And so that's the key. And so, but that's my whole thing is that, and then also having a daughter, I didn't want to just always have to hit you. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't
Well,
want
there's
you to
other
think,
consequences. Hold on.
well, I'm talking about
Yeah.
because,
I don't wanna- yeah,
No,
I
I'm
don't
talking
wanna
about that side. So that's what I mean. My extreme was I didn't want to hit her.
Okay.
And
I
so
understand
then when
that.
it came to the phone, it was like, well, dang, I'm gonna need to call you at
Yeah.
school so I
Yeah.
can pick you up. So I'm gonna need you to have a phone. And then I remember what I did. I did lock your phone up to where you could only call
You
us.
did do
Yes.
that. But then you see how that's kind of like, because I got
She
to
can only
keep
call
my
me.
phone, but
You had a
know that I could call you, my mom, and one friend.
Yes.
But why were you letting me call a friend if I was with you?
It just felt too harsh. You know, you got a heart, okay?
He like
You-
sent
you
her
his
number
daughter,
and
you know
I
what I
added
mean?
so you
Like-
can only call her.
You got a little
Like,
soft
Claire,
spot.
Okay.
this Papa, he gonna let you
Walk all
he
over
gonna
me.
let you
Don't you tell her that you walk all over me?
Nah, she's
I
gonna
forgot
have me
this saying,
too.
give me a friend phone number that I
Yes.
can program
Yeah.
into
Yes.
the phone.
She's in trouble. She's like, oh, thanks, Dad.
Yeah.
But, you know, it was reconnaissance. You want to know who was the most important friend. You know,
Yeah, because I'm thinking that in prison, they still let you have a guest list. Yeah. So,
they run a tight program.
Yeah.
Prison.
You get to have some-
Y'all are funny.
You get to have
Okay.
somebody get to visit you. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? You're in
God.
prison, so I say, because I didn't want, man. Yeah. It was just what it was, and my whole thing was to operate in a level of grace. But again, when you have two parents, especially with like when Ashley and I have a kid, then we'll have balance. You know, that's why I believe that it takes balance like that to be like, I'm this, and she's like, oh no, I'm this, and it's like, hey, what your mama say?
Yeah.
You know, you can always say, what your mama say? You know what I'm saying? So that's cool instead of, yeah, man, mom being a little too hard or whatever. Hey, what did she say? What did it? You know, your mama said this, whatever. You got to do this. But no, and then you have the balance. Y'all can play good cop, bad cop all the time. So that's why I believe is better when you grow up in a two-parent household.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because y'all both get balance.
So between you two, now that you are a parent, how will you, or what is the balance? What do you feel like
Who do you
even?
think is a strict one?
Yeah.
You know what's funny about that? It is depending on the situation and who it is to, and like we change so much. Like if you want to talk to our pets, I'm the lenient one, she's the stricter one, and
Yeah.
like I'm like, all right, like this was you said, it ain't
Go
on me. Like she said, you got to be in
Go
here.
crazy.
I didn't say this, but it's you and me. Like you know what I mean?
You and me, dog.
Yeah, I'm like it's gonna be you. Like
It's gonna be you. It's gonna be you.
yeah, but I think like when it comes to her, we both have our different things that we're like more lenient on. Like I'm like the chill, like food parent. Like she's so like she can't have this
Here's a
yet.
good
like
example.
this is too. You throwing
Passing
out?
out.
You falling out
She's
for
slain
us?
in spirit.
She's like, watch
She's
this.
so funny. She knows we're talking about her. But yeah, I definitely see like where I'm more lenient in some areas. She might be more concerned and the more cautious parent. But in other situations, she surprised me. I'm like, you sure that's good? And she's like, yes. Like, let her go on and do this and
Give me an
experiment.
example of that. Did you say go and let her?
Where you going, boo boo? I mean,
I can't think of the examples that he's using, but we brought up one conversation, or a friend did, about kind of like the way like someone was dressed, like a girl was dressed, like to like a homecoming party,
yeah.
and she had like a little cute like dress, and it was a halter. I was like, that was so cute, and he was like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
And then it made me think, oh, that's going to be an issue when Claire's
Absolutely.
older, because I'm going to be the one shopping with her.
yeah, I mean, your perspective
So-
is just totally different.
Yeah.
Like you've been at that age, you've wanted to wear this, so you got like a little bit of
we
a
just
looser.
get into it about that.
Oh, I can
Oh,
imagine.
yeah.
I can imagine.
Yeah.
So that's what we talking about. Strict about? Oh, I'm strict about all
Yeah.
that, showing all that. Like
Yeah.
it ain't no compromising that. Where she want to wear lipstick and makeup, well, not lipstick, but makeup and all that. Oh, strict.
Well,
I'm
wait.
like,
Now that we're talking about strict, I'm not going to say too much on it, but we took some pictures, and there was a dress that he wanted me to wear. The dress was see through.
they wanted you to wear
I
it.
was on the phone.
Yeah.
And you was like, it's see-through. He was like, you ain't see nothing.
But you could see everything
Yeah.
through. It
Her
was mesh
legs.
colored.
It was
So-
just your legs?
No, it was my whole body.
No, it
no,
had, she had
it
Spanx and
literally.
stuff on.
Okay, I had Spanx on, but you could see the Spanx.
That's
So
what I'm
if
saying.
I
You
didn't
just-
have Spanx on, you would be able to
You
see.
just Photoshop it out.
I know. So I'm like, okay, I think I'm a little bit more.
No, she's more conservative on dress at all.
Okay.
Like just from her dress, she's not gonna show nothing. But I respect that a lot. But I do believe that she's a little extreme. Like she'd be like, oh, you can see a little cleavage. And I'd be like, that's because you got cleavage. Like, how can you just hide it all the time? She's like, she don't even want to see the little
Just the
crease.
little line?
The little line, she don't want to see that.
Is that
She had a dress
No, I had like a. Okay, I have a few outfits
that will not show. I promise you,
You
if
can
y'all
see-
go look on this
No.
episode, you can go look. If you can find a picture where
I
you
did
showing
at
her
the
that.
wedding. At the wedding.
Yeah, that's a wedding dress that was like that.
Yeah.
And that was it.
There
That
you
was
go.
your excuse.
Yeah.
It's a
Will
wedding
you show a
dress.
little leg?
No.
Ooh.
She won't show a leg.
Show legs.
I'll be pulling out dress. I said, "Where it is? Where it is?" She be like, "Mm."
I will.
A little crop top?
Oh no.
No,
I'm learning something. I never knew that.
I
Ashley is
will though.
conservative.
I do show a little skin.
Yeah, like
What
her
skin?
arm. This.
She's like my
This
forehead.
right here.
She's like, I mean, you see my wrist all the time.
You're gonna see this right here all day.
You see skin, yes.
I be trying to have her
mommy?
stuff and show her arm. She be like, no, I want
So
to show
no
my whole
spaghetti
arm.
strap, nothing like that. No halter top.
I will wear a spaghetti strap in the summer. I have a couple outfits like we wore on the honeymoon. This wasn't about me. I don't even know why I was inserting
Yeah.
myself.
Interrogating you.
I just like was talking about your dad and
Yeah.
his.
You
I
did
was,
say you said
I
that you're
was
more.
shocked.
You brought up the
I
shoot
just
that we
was
did.
shocked the
So that'd be
the
interesting for you.
see-through.
Oh, yeah.
The see-through nature of it. But go ahead. Yeah, you were talking about growing up.
No, she don't like showing none of that stuff. And I didn't pick the dress out. The designer picked the dress out for her to take photos in.
Yep.
And I was like, because she looked good in it. That's the other thing. It's gonna be hard for me to look at her looking
Yeah.
good and say,
Like, you look fine to me.
yeah, you look
Yeah.
fine. You know
But
what
for
I'm saying?
everyone to be seeing me,
But it was hitting. Like
it
you
was
don't
not.
see no
It was
breasts.
not.
You don't see none of that
you
stuff.
saw my legs. You saw.
You see-
would
you
have
see
seen
the dress come
breasts,
down to her
But I
ankles.
had they wanted to put pasties on.
Oh.
Yeah, just to
Yeah.
show the
no, so that you couldn't see
Yeah,
behind.
that's a
well, the
big.
silver part was crossing. The part was
yeah, but
covered
you
up.
could also see around the breast.
Yeah, but it's just skin. That's so what get me is this, because you're not seeing it. It's like you can see y'all can walk around on the beach with bra and
my
panties
skin.
on, with bra and panties in, but you can't have a full covered dress that's a full wedding dress.
Because I'm at the beach.
But
that
I'm
is why
seeing
I'm
more
wearing-
skin than I could ever see.
Because I'm going in the water.
But before you get there, I'm seeing you in literally bra and panties because that's what a swimsuit.
Well, I
look
wore a swimsuit when we went to Jamaica.
You had to cover. Yeah,
It was a
cover.
two-piece?
Yeah, she had two
No.
piece, and you had shorts on
It was
with
a
it.
one piece.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
with
forgot.
some Daisy Dukes.
So no
Yeah.
midriff.
yeah,
Yeah,
Little
she-
leg.
You could see a
Yeah, you see
little
her
bit.
leg?
You could see a little midriff.
'cause
Anyway,
that little
so
peekaboo.
Laterria and Claire is going to be able. So they're going to have the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Absolutely.
Yeah.
yeah, because Laterria used to get mad at me sophomore and junior year and would want to wear a little short because at the school she went to performing arts school, so they was dressing like everything.
We were expressing ourselves.
It's a form of creativity.
Yes, thank you.
And so she look at them little girls and be like, "Oh, I want to dress like that too."
Yeah.
And she want to wear little short skirts and short whatever because she was all real slim. And so she was like, "Well, it's fine." So I was like, "No, no, not at all." And she would get mad at me. One time she got in trouble. "Oh, I got some consequences for you."
Oh,
Oh yeah, yes, I forgot about this.
When he would come up with consequences, they'll be very creative. I'll say that. 'Cause I already know what he's talking about.
What am I talking about?
I was doing not great in school. I was focused. I was cute though. And he saw that and was like, that's an issue because while you're cute, but your grades aren't cute. So
what I said.
he went to the store. He went to the store and purchased uniforms for me. And I had to wear uniforms.
At a school that didn't require it.
No one had uniforms. I remember having on these little blue Bermuda shorts and a white collar shirt. He didn't even let me mix up and get a khaki and a blue and a black.
good, babe.
I had to get all
That's
the
good.
same,
That's what I'm talking
like
about.
4 pair of shorts, the same color shirts. And I had to wear that to school. And I don't even know how long it was, but it felt like eternity. Everybody was like, why you got on uniforms? And I had to explain it. It was embarrassing. And then I did it for so long, they got used to it. I just was wearing uniforms. And I got to...
I take what I said back.
Yeah,
I
so
take that back.
she went to a performing arts
Yes.
school where they dressing like they come in the dress.
Yes.
And she's dressing like she going to a regular school
Yeah.
in DISD where they had to
Yeah.
wear khakis
That
like
was
literally
awful.
a uniform.
That was
Okay.
like...
I didn't know you had it in you.
Oh, it's in me because I'm telling you, push me there. I'll be like,
Yeah.
oh, this ain't going.
Yeah.
You ain't learning.
It
This-
took
this-
him a
this-
minute to be like, hold on, what's the issue?
Yeah, I like this.
Yep.
And another time, what happened going into your graduation? Y'all had the senior holler or whatever. They go running through the halls.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
And you got mad, and what happened?
I was threatened to not be able to walk.
So I told her. So what happened was she got
heard
mad.
this story.
Yeah, she got mad at the principal
This is
because
so embarrassing.
this is fun. So at the senior year, all the seniors run through the hallways and just scream. In the middle, the kids, they
Senior
taking
shout.
tests. They doing exit. It's called senior shout,
Yeah.
right? They will run and just scream. And so the
That
principal
sounds
said,
so silly when you just break it down like that. But no, it was the last day of school, and that was us taking our liberty to shout.
but the other kids are taking tests. They're taking for real tests. So they run down and holler. So what the teachers did, the principal said, they called them all out to the courtyard. Said, we have a meeting for the seniors in the courtyard. They got into the courtyard and they locked the doors where they were stuck in the center of the courtyard. And like, y'all can scream all y'all want to out here. So LaTerria, the kids got mad. They banging on the door. I used to go to school so much and work around the school and sell shirts and do all this stuff to Everybody in the school knew me, right? So the assistant principal called me because LaTerria was banging on the door, cussing.
Don't look at me. That's old me.
So she over there cussing.
I don't even cuss.
She was over there cussing at the. He said, and then they told her, "I'm gonna call your dad." And she said, "I don't care." So
I kept cussing.
And kept cussing. Yeah. That man called me. Mr. Whitfield, your daughter is throwing a fit because she can't come into the hallways and run and do this. And she told me what it was, and I was like, and she said, what? I told her that I was going to call you, and she said, I don't care, call him. Uh-oh. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Because they told her, they said, if you don't calm down, you're not going to get a chance to walk across stage. She said, so I don't care. I said, oh, she's going to keep that energy then? Man, I called her. I said, guess what? You ain't gonna walk across stage.
I just remember what the punishment was. I forget. You know how to do a little something.
Oh, yeah.
Think about it.
Oh, yeah, don't play with me.
He know how to do a little something.
He knows a little.
And so I told her she couldn't walk across the stage. She cried for 2 days. Please, I'll do anything. I got her right where she wanted. Push the microphone, and what did I tell you to do?
Keep in mind, school was out. Everybody's summer vacation has started.
Seniors.
Yes, for the seniors. He had me up at the school.
Put the microphone close to your mouth, all the way. Yes.
He had me up at the school, basically being like the assistant to like all the like secretarial like people who are printing papers and doing stuff. I was their assistant for probably like a week.
A week.
And then even then he was like, "You're not doing this to be able to walk. You're doing this because you disrespect the staff here. So now you have to help." And then made me ask my principal at that time, like after me doing all that work, like if he lets you walk, he lets you walk, but I'm not talking to him. You have to figure that out. And so I was like, please, I really want to walk. And then he let me walk.
I had her go clean the auditorium.
Yeah.
I was like, and then they kept telling me, and the assistant principal was like, Laterras, I think that's enough. She did. I said, no, you got anything else? I said, Laterras, we have nothing else. We have nothing else to do. Find something. Can she help the janitorial cat? Can they watch? She's like, Laterras, she's been here all week. We have nothing else for her to do.
That's good.
We have nothing else for her
I had to think about it.
That's
but
good.
We got everything done around here. It's no more work.
Yes.
She was driving to school mad. She said, everybody else, they over here meeting at this. My friends are meeting at that. I said, guess what? Your summer vacation ain't started yet. Mm-hmm. You still in school because you don't know how to act. And that girl went and worked for them for free for a whole week. Going to school, everybody else out. She would go to school when they went, like the typical time you're supposed to go to school. And she'd leave when it was time.
Yeah, but then you saw, right? Like you made amends and then you were able to actually get back on track. So I love that.
Yeah, trying to make me out here be a punk. Trying to make me sound like I just let her run over me.
Okay, Dad.
Exactly.
He was certain to get his props back.
Yeah, because I was like, I don't recall her just doing
something.
whatever she want to. I would give her grace where I knew it worked when she said, "You're loving me like Jesus does." Is that when I don't deserve it, you'll still bless me anyway. And I literally, while she was crying, I shed some tears, and I was like, "Wow, that's extremely important." So y'all go off to college. Before y'all went off to college, well, getting ready to prom that we left out is that I took you to prepare for prom. Tay went and got you fitted for your tuxedo, dressed you. We took a little dope photo with that. How important was that?
That was awesome. I think for numerous reasons, but the two that I'll stick to is it's not normal to be courting someone and then their dad to be like either liking you enough or interested enough to even be like willing to be a part of that moment or wanting to because you offered. And then two, like me growing up, single mom, like I didn't have that father figure, that man present. So I think for me, like what's weird is you don't know what you don't know. So it's like just being there and kind of seeing that, making sure I got this right, getting the tie right, how you do this, man. You put this on like this, you get this jacket on like that. Like it was cool. It was cool. Because again, I don't think many people will be sending their daughter off to prom with somebody and then involved enough to be like, I'm gonna make sure all the way together too. Like And
my key for that was that if I could love who she loves, that makes the love even greater. Because if I can show you that it's not just, because I never want to be a type of father that quote unquote choose sides, where it's like whatever she says, she got to be right. Because if you must have did something to her if she did this. I always wanted to be the person that was level-headed to be like, what happened? All right, let's talk about it. And be able to share her heart to you and your heart to her so that there could be clear understanding. I want to make sure that the love became the main thing and not choosing sides. Like, well, that's why I like Tay. I've been meaning to tell you this, LaTerria. I'd never liked Tay anyway. I just been pretending. You know what I'm saying? It's like, that's toxic. I always want to be somebody to be like, no, that's a good dude, and be able to identify there's nobody perfect. It's just people that are learning. And if y'all can give each other the grace to learn in the process, y'all can have something amazing together. Before y'all went off to college, I made you sign some paperwork. What was that paperwork, Tay?
Oh God, this is hilarious because I don't know if anybody's ever heard of this before, but this man drafted up essentially a purity contract, as in you sign these papers as you're going off to school, which means keep your hands off my daughter. I might have to bring it back. I might need a copy. I might need a copy email
That's
too.
too much.
Yeah, I might need to get the original drafts, make sure I don't mess nothing up.
When I did that, you feel like I was doing too much?
No, I mean, again, stage has been set. We didn't just meet. Like,
He expected it.
yeah. I was surprised when it didn't come early. I'm just kidding. No, but with like a big change like that and like sending your kid off somewhere, I can't even project forward to even think like trying to send her to school anywhere. I'm like, you gonna be right down the street at UNT or something. Like, I don't know where you think you going.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like a scary thing. Like you're sending your kid off somewhere, nonetheless, with a boy.
Yeah.
Like you thinking the worst. You hoping for the best, but anything is possible. So I wasn't like really bugged out or tripping too much about it. I just know in the moment of what was going on, like I was willing to like be open-minded and embrace it.
And then what happened when y'all didn't uphold my contract?
I don't remember. I remember I felt really bad. But it really, not saying I didn't feel bad for disappointing you, but I felt bad because like when I was younger, I went to like purity classes and I had a purity ring. So I was like, dang, I can't undo that. So I failed. And that sounds like a strong word to say. But that's how it felt because I was.
And it was interesting because you were reluctant to tell me about it. And what made you decide to tell me?
Because my roommate told on me.
How?
Because my roommate was like, she basically vocalized to her mother that Tay was over there all the time. And then in my head, I was like, well, I'm guilty. Because what is he over here for all the time? Yeah. And I'm like, no, we just watch TV. Like, you know, it just felt like, and I just, from then, that's when the conviction, I think, started. Because I was like, dang, I can't, like, it's out. Like, this is what it is. So.
And so what was that conversation like?
I remember I was crying. I think I had a hard time getting it out. I think you may have had to ask me and then me say like yes or eventually, because I could not just come out and say that to you. Well, that was very hard. That was like top 3 like hard conversations with your dad. It was hard.
And then how did I respond?
I don't remember your response, which means you're probably just kind of like, well, you did it. So,
and that's how it was. I literally said, and I guarantee you this. I said, I remember this specifically. And I said, and I bet you now y'all have arguments over trivial stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And then you said, yeah. I said, because what happens is Pandora box is now open and the Bible says never awaken love before it's time. And I said, and now y'all are just arguing over stupid stuff, huh? You was like, how you know that? I said, because that's just what happens. I said, y'all could be so great together, so cool together, getting along. And then you introduce sin into the relationship. And now look at what happened. You was like, yeah, we used to be fighting over it. I don't know what we fighting. It used to be just stupid stuff and this. I said, exactly.
It was hard, yeah.
And my whole thing is I'm going to always pray with you. I'm always pray for you. I'm always pray over you. And I even talking to Tay and told him same things like, hey, y'all did what y'all did, y'all grown. And so my whole thing is this. What I've always tried to, I ain't gonna even say what I tried to, I'm gonna ask you, what do you think I was trying to show you through my parenting style?
I've never thought about that before, but I think you were trying to show me like kind of like what grace means and kind of like making a mistake. But like you don't have to become your mistake just because you made a mistake. You can still grow from them. It's important to like learn from your mistakes. I think you also taught me how to be a good parent. Even though when you were parenting me, I didn't think about how to be a good parent. But now when I think about me, I can just see myself talking clear ear off when she get in trouble. And I'll be like, sorry, this is what I know how to do.
That is hilarious.
Did you say sorry?
Yeah, sorry.
Let's put framework around that.
Yeah.
These be like 5-hour conversations.
We go 5 when I talk to LaTerria. It'd be like, when I talk to LaTerria, it'd be
I'm
like,
talking about Ladarian.
Ladarian will be 5. It'd be about an hour and a
Ladarian,
half.
how many hours does your uncle talk to you?
4 hours.
If you didn't hear that, the longest is 4 hours.
I'm not
Ladarian
exaggerating.
talked 4 hours.
Yes, no.
We're gonna start setting stopwatches.
Beginning of this year, what were we talking about? New Year's. What happened New Year's?
Yes.
Oh, goals
I'm
and
telling
like,
you,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it's
It'll
segues.
happen.
It can be a 4 or
He said
5 hour.
segues.
Yes.
It could be a 4 or 5 hour conversation.
Well, you
I
can't
just
say I wasn't a present parent.
Nah, you can't. He was very present. The
But I'm gonna
presence
tell you
was
what
felt.
happened. I'm gonna tell you what happened too. A couple of weeks ago or last week, I think that was last week. Ladarian did something he wasn't supposed to do again, and I was real short with him. I said, "All right." When I say the next day, he told me he felt. What did you say you felt? He felt like I didn't care.
I would too.
He said, I said, why? He said, because you didn't talk to me like you normally talk to you. I said, because I got so tired of telling you the same stuff over and over again that I didn't want to waste another breath. And he said, and I felt it. He said, I'd rather you talk to me because it shows that you care. Mm-hmm. Because the key, what you even telling Armani one time, you said, if Laterras don't talk to you, that means he don't care.
Yeah.
If I don't have a long conversation with you, that means it's a wrap. I'm already checking out. I feel like it's impossible. I feel like I ain't finna waste a breath. I'd be like, all right. And that's what I did with Ladarian. I was so done. I was like, all right, I'm done. He sat there and walked off, and I watched him walk into his room like feeling like a complete failure. And then, because what happens in the conversations is going to start off with me talking about what you did wrong, how can you fix that, why did you do that, all that. And then by the end of it, I'm going to edify you at the end and be like, okay, now what can you do? Now, can you make a better decision? I believe you can do this. It's going to come back to the edification process, and then I'll send you off with grace.
Yes.
But in that moment, I was like, this kid is hopeless. Like, I can tell him something one day and the next day he forget it. And I literally was just like, I don't even care.
He's not hopeless. He's just a teenager.
Yes.
But I felt hopeless in it and literally didn't even have that conversation with him. And he felt that the next day we had a deeper conversation about it because he brought it up. He was like, hey, can we talk about this? Let's do this. And he said, well, thank you for talking to me today because yesterday it hurt me when you didn't want to talk. I said, I thought my long conversations frustrate you. He's like, no, it shows me that you care.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I think it does a little bit of both.
Yeah. And I was going to say, because I forgot about that part, but like at the end of the conversations with you, I always left feeling good. I never felt like, oh my God, I just feel like a horrible person. You weren't like yelling at me or cussing at me or anything crazy. Like you said, you would start off with me explaining myself, and then you would like pour love back into me and say, you're better than that. You're smart. You're this, you're that. I didn't think about that because in the moment when you're a kid, you're just like, oh my God, he gonna just talk to me. I'll be here forever. That's what it felt like.
Forever.
Yeah. So, but we always left.
That's why we
like,
always
on
tell
good
Ladarian,
terms.
sit
Like,
down, please.
and that's the
sit
reason why
down.
it don't be a consequence.
Yeah.
Because it don't be a consequence, because I feel like, let's talk through it. I don't have to give you a consequence after that, because at the end of the day, I believe that giving instruction, having a conversation, and sending you on your way to something greater, then we can go do that. Show me that you've learned from this moment and do better. I don't have to say, and now I'm gonna punish you. When it gets to that point, then I just be like, you just hard-headed. Now I got to give you a consequence. And when I give a consequence, it's going to be well thought out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Yeah.
before you leave on that, I want to, give you props on the conversation thing, because I know we talked a lot about the balance between ensuring you're like having that communication, because I think what that does is especially I've gotten to see the effects of that. It separates the problem and the child, and instead of them feeling like a bad kid that makes bad mistakes, you're talking through what actually happened, and you're letting them know that you're upset with what happened. Like, they're not in and of itself the problem. Like, So I think that's important too. And then the consequence, of course, deterrence exists. But if consequences were the only thing that happened, then we could say, okay, well, if somebody goes to jail once, they won't be back. And that's not the case.
Yep.
So the reform part of that and the guiding part of that is important, because I think if you're having those conversations early, they expect that. It feels weird. Like LaDarian just pointed out, it feels weird when it doesn't happen. So when they get older, you're like, okay, now they're in the teen years or almost 18. They're reaching that point to where they are armed with this knowledge that you've instilled in them, and they're starting to feel independent.
Yep.
But you're still like playing tug of war, trying to keep that influence and ensuring that they still listen to instructions, although they're like, well, you've been preparing me for this. So I think both sides can kind of struggle with that transition. But the way that you're going about it as they enter adulthood, she's entered adulthood, you still have that space to talk, because you no longer have the ability to give the consequences
At all.
That's gone. But you can always still have that conversation. So I think that's important to point out the importance of that.
Yes.
And separately, I think on the parent side, if you're super heated with whatever just happened, if we jump straight into deciding a consequence, I think, imagine if judges got to do that. Like, imagine if whoever you just wronged got to immediately give you a consequence, like what that looked like. But they get to understand what they did wrong, but you also get an understanding of where their head was at and how they ended up where they were. And I think you can relate to that a lot better, and maybe not come down as hard and come from a place of understanding. So that's why a lot of consequences probably didn't follow. The talks went long enough that he understood enough and related enough to not jump down too hard.
And what I also used to do is I will always share transparently mistakes I made.
That's true.
I will always say that. I will always lead. I'll be like, listen, when I was your age, I did this, and you're better than I am when I was your age. I say it to LaTerria all the time. I say, LaTerria, you are a virgin. I said, when I was your age, I was not. I was giving birth to my first child. So you're doing great at this. I'm going to always say what you're doing. I'll be like, now, are you telling me the truth, though? Are you telling me the truth? Because I don't want to give you props and it's a lie.
It's a lie.
Yeah, I said, because I want to tell you what you're doing right where I wasn't doing right, or I'll say stuff like, when I was like, when looking for jobs or whatever, I said, when I was a job, I had to go find it myself. I didn't have a parent going through my resume like Ashley is doing with you. I didn't have nobody taking me to the job. I didn't have that. And I said, and I'm giving you all these tools and support. And Ashley is coming along, making sure that your resume is right, making sure that when you do a application that you're answering it properly and all that. I didn't have all that. I had to learn for myself. So how dare you have all this help and you still not doing it? Like, so I say, are we hindering you because we're helping you too much, or what? And so those are the type of conversations that we would be having. I'm gonna always lead with my mistakes. I'm gonna always show you the scars in my hand. I'm gonna say, this is what I did. I made mistakes, because I don't want you ever thinking that I remember a conversation that you and I had where I first told you about the infidelity that I had, because you were beating yourself up saying, I feel like a failure. I feel like, because you were struggling in science and didn't feel like you were the most talented kid at the school, and you were like beating yourself up really, really bad. I mean, really bad. And I told her, you was like, and you're just so perfect. I just wish my life could be like yours. You're so talented. Everybody likes you. You're this. And then that's when I told you, no, I'm not perfect. I cheated on my wife. And you was like, what? And so I'm going to always lead with transparency, because I don't want nobody on this earth to think that I got it all together. People are amazed by how transparent I am on Dear Future Wifey, but it's because I started that out in my private life. There's nobody outside of you and my wife now, since I'm married, but there was, at that time, was you. Nobody whose approval that I sought greater than you. So it didn't matter what nobody else said. You know what I'm saying? It don't, like, even now, what my wife thinks about me is superior to anybody else. So people can sit on social media, say whatever they want to say, and I'll be like, I don't have to go home to y'all. Y'all don't mean nothing to me. You mean nothing to me. What does my wife say about me? And so the greatest thing I had to do is confess my faults with someone that looked at me like Superman, and so that was a lot. What did that do for you to show you the frailties of your father?
It was honestly heartbreaking, because I did think that you were perfect. And that sounds so silly when I say it, but that's truly what I thought. And then, even being young, I realized that was like a really big mistake you can make in a marriage, as being unfaithful. So I think that did exactly what it meant to do at that time, which made me think, wow, well, yes, I am failing science, but I'm not irredeemable, or I'm not this horrible person who doesn't deserve whatever. It did exactly what you expected for it to do.
Why is it important as a parent, and maybe y'all may not adopt that same philosophy, or maybe y'all will, to lead with your own transparency and vulnerability as a parent? Do you feel like that's important, Tay?
Yeah, I'm going to jump in on this one because I got to see the other side of that. So as all of this is happening, like I'm there. I got to see, she's having such a good time.
Good.
Yeah, but I got to see like the impact of that, like to go from viewing someone, like you said, as Superman, as perfect, who a lot of the qualities that she likes that I have, like the way that I carry myself, the way that I lead, like they resemble you, and that's what she looked for.
Right.
So I think for a brief period in time, it kind of heightened like lack of trust, and that like spread to me as well. Like, like if this man can do this, like this boy can do whatever.
Yep.
But I think that it was really important to do that because I think as she got to mourn the perfect image of you, she created space to have grace for you as a human. And I think it's too easy to see someone who's like all capable and always shows up and is always reliable in a light that's not perfect. And I think that practice and that understanding like got to bleed over into trying to grow with me, like going from kids to adults. So I think without that, like you can hold very unrealistic expectations for another person if you have a standard of perfection. And we might want to seem perfect, but I don't think that does any good to whoever's modeling their like future relationship after you.
That was so well said.
Yeah.
That is real. You want to say something about that? You want to jump on that?
No.
So did you feel like you started developing trust issues with Tay?
Absolutely. Yeah. And I'm surprised you remember that because I literally was like, if my dad is like capable of doing something like that, what is this? That's really how it felt.
I will say something about what LaTerria said though, because I can definitely relate to that, because when your father does something like that, it feels like, oh my gosh, like if he can do that, then of course any man that I'm with can do that as well. Yes. So I certainly relate to that because it's not that they did it to you, but it sets the kind of framework for what you know is possible. And especially when you see your dad or your grandfather, or the men in your life as that like pillar, now you're like, oh man, if he had it together and he did that. And I thought, it really is like having the rug pulled from underneath you.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's real. And I felt like, and I told her one day in the last episode that we did a couple years ago, I said, I did do that to you and I apologize, because as a man, we are showing our daughters what it looks like to love a woman properly. And if you show any signs of a chink in your armor where you're doing something that's ungodly, operating in sin, whatever that is, I'm showing her that this is your expectation. You know what I'm saying? And I took it to heart. But I remember God telling me to tell her that, and her response was, I hate cheaters. And when I said that, she said, I hate cheaters. And I looked at her, I was like, dang, I just sat there and I just took it. I took it on the chin, and I was like.
But I want to say to that, because I know a lot of men feel like that and they wear that for their family. And I just want to say we're not our mistakes. I think you said that. And so I think that, you made a mistake. And the important thing is the work that you do to not become the mistake, right? Not to sit in that and dwell in that, because sometimes when we dwell in the mistake or the decision or the action, then we actually make it bigger than it is, right? Now you are that person because you walk around. It's kind of like sometimes when you're dealing, with depression or you're depressed and you won't go outside and you won't go try to get a job, or you won't, like literally you are giving your body more space to dwell in that. And so what I just want to celebrate you for is that you didn't sit in it. You didn't say, well, I am this, I'm a cheater, like I can never be better. You literally built a whole platform to show the world how you healed publicly so that you can show up as this mighty man of valor who you've always been, because your heart was always pure. Your heart ain't never not been pure. Amen. I know I just did a double negative there, but your heart, now your heart can't nobody take. Yes, it's always been pure. So the mistakes that you made, even LaTerria saw that they were momentary lapses, but they had nothing to do with the man that you are and the heart that you have, and the type of husband that you are to me. And as we celebrate Father's Day, I just want you to know that God broke the mold when he made you.
She's trying to get me emotional. Okay. Have me crying right here.
God broke the mold when he made this one right here.
Thank you so much.
So everything about you strives to be perfect and to be better. And I just want you to know that I'm proud of the work that you've done. But most importantly, I'm proud that it doesn't just stop. It's continuous.
Amen. Thank you for recognizing that. I'm gonna keep going because if I, my love language are words of affirmation. Look at her just smiling.
I'm like, he's good. Like he's going.
LaTerria, when you met her, what did you say?
I loved Ashley.
Why?
From the moment I talked to her on the phone,
I love you too.
it just felt like, it sounds cheesy to say a breath of fresh air, but that's what it felt like. It just felt like, finally. That's what it felt like first, if I'm being honest. It was like, finally. Because I know people don't get to hear my perspective on, this. Yeah. But my dad didn't bring people around me that he was just talking to or dating. Like, when I met Ashley, I was like, oh, this is serious. Like, this is, in fact, you told me it was serious. You were like, this is Ashley. I'm marrying her.
Facts.
Ashley? And you're like, hello? And I'm like, hey. So, yeah, you were there, but you're very straight up, told me what it was from the beginning. And that's what I expect from him. And that's exactly how you move. So,
and of course, it was funny because during the wedding, they were like, you heard some negative people talking about, see, his daughter ain't there. She don't approve of this marriage. What would you like to say to that?
That's so silly. First of all, my dad is my best friend. I love him. I love Ashley. Just based off y'all being together, but even as a person, like when people ask me about you, people have asked me about you, and like she's so kind, she's sweet. I'm like, her soul is just so pure and soft. She just feels like a teacher, like your favorite teacher. And I knew that, but like that's the best way I can describe it. I'm like, she feels like your favorite teacher who you sit after class with and you just like trauma dump on. You say, at home I have this going on and this person's mad at me. You just feel like a safe space. So I think it's very, very silly that everyone thought that I did not support this because I was the first person to be able to see this transpire. Yeah. And I had a baby. Claire was 3 months. And I was in my early postpartum. I was breastfeeding. I was scared of her getting COVID, and it was November. It was the last thing anybody should have concluded was that I didn't support it. But people like negativity, so I can't really blame them from jumping to that conclusion.
Yeah. And you sent a voice. I don't know if people knew or picked up on that.
Yes.
But you were actually the first person, because it was the mystery bride, and your dad didn't know that we did that. Shout out to Jen, our wedding planner, who really was like, let's do this. This is a good idea. But Jen actually had asked for me to send it back to you to have you take my name out so that because you said something and you said you and Ashley. Yeah. And so I guess that moment was supposed to be like people not seeing me until like I walked out. But I intentionally left it in because I wanted you to introduce me to everyone.
And I love that. Thank you for doing that. I actually watched it on my phone on YouTube in the car. We were parked at Walmart. She needed formula and stuff. And Tay was inside. I remember because you just told me like, hey, can you just send your dad an encouraging word for like, if you're not going to be here. So just something you want to send him down the aisle with. That's what happened. Yep. So when I took in that moment and I said Ashley, and I knew what I said, and I was like, she forgot to take the name out. Like that, like I was freaking out. I'm like, oh my gosh, I done ruined it. I don't even know if she had listened to it. And then I saw the comments coming in, like everybody was like, Ashley, who's Ashley? Ashley. And I was like, funny. No, I ruined it. But then it became beautiful because I was like, wait a minute, I got to announce my stepmom.
And I did that on
awesome
purpose.
Is that? Yeah, I loved it.
That was so. At first, I was like, "Where's this voice coming from?" I said, "Who is?" Ask LaTerria. I'm not finna cry. I am not finna cry. I'm gonna sit here and hold it. And I was like, wow. I was like, that was extremely special to me.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
I wanted to say too, I've never experienced FOMO like that I'm like, I didn't see the wedding. I wasn't there. It looked fun. Everyone was beautiful. Like, that is the height of like FOMO.
Yeah.
Like, but I can't get that back. I don't want to say I regret not going. I regret the situation, because had I not had a baby, had she been 6 months, I would have went. You know, had it been in a different season, I would have went. But it was never a situation to where I was upset with y'all or wanted you guys to postpone it. Because I've had people say, well, why couldn't they just postpone it? I'm like, postpone their wedding?
That is so
Like,
crazy.
listen to what you're saying. That sounds crazy. And I'm not a selfish person.
Postpone it until
Yeah,
whenever you
but-
decide. I don't even know what you would have.
Yeah.
Because if I would have said 6 months, you're like, it's still too soon. Why my
At
child
that
is
point, yeah, I would have been like, no, I'm scared. She's
I'll
going
be
to
like,
get...
LaTerria, when do you think it's fine? I'll let you know when it gets close.
Right.
I'm like, girl, you got
Yeah.
too much control over my wedding.
And in my head, that was never a thought. Like, oh, I can't believe they're going to get married without me there. They don't... Like, I never thought that. So I just wanted to put that in there, too.
Tay, how'd you feel missing out?
You know, I was in a similar headspace of just like surviving. Like, I was still off from work, so just like being able to take time off, that's also awesome. But I was off for what, 4 months?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. They gave me 4 months off, so I got to be there, be a part of everything, and like I'm right in the trenches too. So it's like I'm trying to see like what does it look like flying, like diaper bags, bottles, formula, like bottle warmers. Like, oh, will she take it cold? Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
it's just like a lot of unknowns. So I think I kind of balance in between like the same, like the FOMO, like everybody having a good time, dressed nice, looking good,
Seeing the pictures.
eating good.
I know.
Eating good. Yeah.
eating good. It look right.
Dancing. I was like, they look good.
Yeah, they look like they're having fun. They over there turning up. I didn't know you had moves like
I
that.
know.
Where'd that come from?
Man, we really, 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 really miss y'all. One thing that y'all did, which was such a wise thing, was when y'all got married, y'all were like, let's just talk about that. When y'all was about to get married, what happened?
We had been engaged for probably about 2 or 3 years. And then we were just like, we should get married. Why are we still engaged? And so I was crazy. And it was October or something. And I said, we should get married by the end of the year.
What year was this?
2022. Which is funny. We remembered it last night. We always forget when our wedding was.
Oh,
We've
yeah.
been together for so long. It just feels like time just keeps just going. But yeah, December 2022. And so my mom and
December,
his
what's
mom,
the exact date?
December 29th, 2022.
I'm saying
guess
30th, but go ahead.
How many days in December? 31?
Yeah.
Okay, 30th. It was the day before New
30th.
Year's Eve. I'm sorry.
Yes.
We don't get offended. You don't get offended when I forget. Okay.
No.
So good.
December 30th.
Yeah, December 30th.
I feel like that's how little of emphasis we put on the things outside of the relationship
Yeah,
itself, like the
yeah.
ring, the wedding, that. There were things that we wanted to do. They were ceremonial and a part of it, but being together for so long and intending for that to be forever, the focus is always on the relationship itself.
good.
So we lapse on those, the other things, the minor details sometimes, because they to us are minor.
Which is a trip because y'all were like, y'all gave me perspective about a ring, saying it don't need to cost a lot of money. Talking about it's the meaning behind it. And I was like, who raised this child?
Yeah, you were like, I didn't raise you like that. I'm like, I don't know. I just love him.
I
don't
said,
know.
where'd you get this from? And I respected it. Then she said, the wedding. I want to have a big wedding for her. And we started off down that route where I was going to do this big wedding for her. And they just stopped me in my tracks and told me straight up, like, no, we want something simple. I said, simple like what? She talking about, I don't care if we had a wedding on the side of the road like Kaylin and Kyra did. If y'all been rocking with me for the whole duration of Dear Future Wifey, Kaylin and Kyra on the podcast, and they had made their first million by the age of 19 doing prank videos on each other, moved from California to Dallas, and came on the podcast, and now they became one of y'all's closest friends. And they just had a wedding. When they got married, they just got...
It was like in a field.
in
It
a
was
field.
gorgeous.
Just pulled off the field, had his uncle that was a pastor or something, and they married him just on the side of the field. And LaTerria's like, we could just have something like that. And I was like, this is not the vision
Yeah.
that I had conceived when you were brought into this earth, you know? And she was just like, so what happened was I got this venue because this other lady called off her wedding. And so she gave me her venue, half the price of what it was, and got the venue. And I asked LaTerria and Tay go look at. They looked at. They said they wanted. I asked them to push the date where it was something really cool. They went to go look at other venues. Said, "All right, we're gonna do this." Then halfway through it, they just like, "I don't want to have a big wedding." I was like, "We ain't talking about what you want. We're talking about what we want." She was like, "We don't want that." I said, "Okay." So I repurposed that venue, and that's how I ended up doing Black Love Matters, where I did a whole wedding. I gifted it to other people. But then y'all decide to have a quaint wedding in the clubhouse of y'all's apartment.
It's called a micro wedding, which is like less than 20 people.
And why was that important for y'all?
Because I just really wanted the people there who knew us, who loved us, who supported us from like the very beginning of our relationship. I didn't really care too much about hosting or celebrating with other people. And that sounds really like, well, you wouldn't want people a part of your big day, which yes, but that just wasn't what I was focused on. I just wanted to finally get married. So that's what made it to where I didn't have to. We had Olive Garden catered. Like if that doesn't tell y'all how like basic and simple like we can be, we just wanted to get married. We're on the like 20th floor in our clubhouse. It was beautiful. It was nice. I made the decor. My mom helped set it up. His mom bought the cake.
Mm-hmm.
It was great.
How much would you say? Like just
how much that wedding cost?
$3,000, and that's including my dress and his suit. His suit was probably like $800. My dress was probably like $800, and then. Yeah.
And then photography, I paid about $1,000 on that.
I remember when we did the math on it a while ago, we added all that in. Total $3,000, including photography and makeup.
And that's how simple it can be. Get married, create covenant, and nothing becomes about money. And what I want to applaud y'all for is that y'all never made finances an issue in y'all's marriage. From a ring to the wedding to a dress to anything. So much so that it was some tension that we had while you were in college because y'all started living together. So y'all hear me at the beginning of the podcast and I say, are y'all still shacking up with us? It's because of her.
I was shacking up.
Because y'all was shacking up. What was that like? And, to have to tell me that y'all was living together, knowing that my stance was totally against that.
Well, one, it was cost effective. We were struggling.
We were. It was expensive.
We were struggling.
We were sleeping together every night, and then like he had an apartment.
Tilt it back to you because you keep like that.
He had an apartment. I had an apartment. We were together every night, so it was cost effective.
Yeah, I mean, we always ended up like spending the majority of our days at one place or the other. So when you start going back at those finances, and you're always spending time, it's a commitment to make for sure. To be like, well, I'm always here anyway, so like, why not just make it one place? But I think that was the leading part. But two, I think actually I can't even say the leading part. The leading part is for sure that we just wanted to spend time together. We wanted to be around each other, and even if we weren't living together, and you kind of have that little like, well, I got somewhere to go to. Like at some point, you got to rip the Band-Aid off anyways. And I don't condone everyone doing that. That's just our story and how that worked out. So I wouldn't say like everybody. That's for everybody because everyone's situation is not the same. Like I don't know the character of all men and all women. So you can follow in those steps and find yourself in a little bit of trouble. If someone's character isn't right, you're gonna go through a lot of conflicts. Like it can be minor. You talking about like trivial things like toothbrush out, this here, this there, toilet seat up. It don't matter. If anything going on, that can be a big problem. It started off small, but now it's the tone of how you said it to me. And now it's like, oh, well, you responded in like a more animated way, and now we beefing. But it started with a toilet seat. You know what I mean? Like, so I think, again, that's not for everybody. I'll go as far as to say it's not for anybody. Don't take the risk if you don't have to. But
did you already know you were gonna marry her?
I did. I think
at what point did you know you was gonna marry her?
I think it became like super apparent just early on in the college days. I think as you got to go through your first hardships, whether it's I blew all my student money and now I'm working and I'm barely making it to class. I'm like you're going through what it feels like life hitting you with this. My grade is not what I want them to be, but you kind of have that. Are you okay? Oh, okay. But yeah, I think that as you start to go through those things, the same way you would look to your parent and be like, hey, like, this is where I'm at. This is where I'm trying to be. And like how they respond to that, it showed me like, okay, this is somebody that I can do life with because I'm doing it. Like I'm
doing life.
Training wheels were on a little bit, but like I'm doing it. So yeah, that had to be like the first like year or so of college. So I knew.
even though I didn't agree with y'all living together while y'all were in college, and when y'all moved to Dallas, I actually helped y'all move.
You did. You were the only person who helped us move too. Nobody else helped us.
I will never forget
But
that.
everybody was excited for us to come back, and nobody helped us move.
Man, when I tell you there was it was our headboard. It was expensive headboard we got. One of the bigger things that we splurged on. But all I got is an image of that headboard around your shoulder. And you just dragging that thing down the hallway.
The hallway was long.
I'm like, man, I didn't want to carry it.
That thing was heavy.
Yeah, I'm like,
long.
So I vividly remember seeing you do that. So that was cool. That was cool.
He said vividly remember.
Yeah, because I was dreading moving it. Like I was too cheap to hire a mover, so I'm gonna do it all. It can take me 2 days. I'm gonna do all of it
By myself.
Yeah, I'm not giving nobody $500-$600. It's gonna be me.
Let me tell you something so interesting is that when my daughter told me that you paid off her past student loans, what made you do that?
I did it because I didn't want it to be a blocker for her. Like I have conversations with her and where she wants to be, and a lot of it centered around like the regrets of what school looked like. Like I think especially as you hit ages where you see people who stayed in school graduating, they're getting the big job, they're maybe going as far as to like having the wedding because like the finances are there, like they're starting life in that what you want to say the American dream way. Everything's going perfect. That wasn't our case. That's not how things played out.
Yep.
And I was like, that was just something that we talked about a ton. I just kept revisiting. And one day I was like, I'm going to pay this off one way or another. So I was like, take my car. I think my limit might have been just about that, like $6,000, $6,500, something like that. I was like, gone. No more excuses. Like, so if that's what you want, we can go after that. Whether it was you wanted to do, I think at the time it was interior design.
Yeah.
She has an eye for it. Didn't have to go to school for it, but sometimes certain jobs look for stuff like that. But again, she decorates our house. Everybody is pulling her in every which way to get her to design something or decorate something for them. But I was like, if that's what you want to do, I'm taking the obstacle away and we'll figure it out. And we did. That is gone. Paid it off. I don't think about it. I don't look for it. I'm not going to miss the $6,000. But what I thought was I would rather pay $6,000 and her eventually not continue school than that be something that she regretted.
That's good. That's good. What that mean to you, LaTerria?
It was like a reminder of like, he really does love me for me. And one thing I also do want to say is to go back, and the school that we actually went to together, I didn't get into it when I first applied to it. I don't know if you remember that.
Yep.
I actually was denied, and then I had to appeal. And he helped me write my appeal letter. When I say help me, he basically wrote it.
I just helped.
He's like, you going to school.
Yeah, Tay
You going somewhere.
GPT. I told her I was Tay GPT for her.
Yeah. Yes.
Tay GPT.
Tay GPT.
Yeah.
And then you go there and then don't go there.
Yeah. But.
You did. Went there, was all on academic probation.
Yeah.
I said, good Lord, girl. LaTerria was like very, very lazy in school.
Yes.
You know, that just wasn't her thing.
Yes.
And I was like, I don't pay for failure.
Yeah.
I said, I'm paying for you I pay for your apartment, I pay for your stuff, I do that, I got your car. I said, but I'm not gonna pay for failure. If you're not going to school, you're not going to class, you're not doing your work, you on your own at that point. So I told you I get some consequences.
Which I did want to say, that was a part of the reason to why that kind of led us to moving in together.
Yeah.
Because then you stopped, not saying this is a bad thing, but
No,
you
it's a good
stopped
thing.
paying all of my rent. You're like, well, I'm paying half of it then. I'm like, well, okay. I kind of want to live with this guy I'm, with. So I might as well just split rent with him and we can live together, and then he saves money and I save money. But I did want to go back to saying that was another hard conversation for us to have, because I knew under no circumstances would you be like, okay, have fun, congratulations, do a good job. I knew you were not going down easy. I knew it wasn't going to be a resolve to the conversation unless I decided not to move in with him.
Yeah.
So you definitely held your ground. I held mine.
Yeah.
Yeah, you did.
Like Tay said, I don't recommend anybody do that.
No.
And I told her, she was like, see, I'm very, very level-headed. I'll be like, this is where I stand. Where do you stand? Oh, Dad, I'm moving in. All right.
No, that's
That's
real.
it. I'd be like, this is why you shouldn't. This is why you shouldn't. This is why I say this. This is statistics. This is blah, 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 blah. This is what the spiritual ramifications are. Well, Dad, I want to do this because this is this. Okay. And I ain't going to hold no grudges. I ain't going to give you no cold shoulder. We going to still keep talking. And I ain't going to even bring it up no more. Did I ever bring that up again?
No, but you just stopped paying my phone bill, my car insurance, my car note.
Yeah, it was all
So
on
I
it.
was like, hey, Tay.
Yeah.
Well, my dad said, and then now we have to figure those things out together.
Because
Yeah,
I
but
said,
that
why
was
am I
said in
paying for
advance,
you?
though. It wasn't
Yeah.
just dropped on us randomly.
you
Like it
told
was.
me.
That was the
You're
condition.
like, I'm
It was
gonna
like,
get
if
you to
this
next-
is
you
what
said,
you're
when do
doing.
you move in? Okay, I'm not paying anything starting those days.
Yeah.
And this is why I told her. I said, listen, right now, I have authority and spiritual authority over you, meaning I'm covering you financially, everything. If you decide to go under somebody else's covering, he needs to cover you. And I said, I'm not going to be paying for you to have a live-in boyfriend. That's not going to happen. I'm not going to be paying for y'all to be in fornication and sin. I'm not paying for that.
That's fair, Dad.
So
Okay,
y'all,
I
y'all
agree.
do it. So that's why I said, I
Look, he redeeming himself. He's showing the proof.
I just
Come on.
be forgetting. I be forgetting.
Yeah, we have to
Yeah.
talk through it.
Yeah. Talk through it so I can
ourselves.
get to it. Because I
Okay.
lead with grace, and then I just be like,
Yeah.
okay, do what you're gonna do. And they moved in, and because I was like, why don't you move back to Dallas? Well, I want to stay here. I want to do this. I was like, you ain't even in school. You know what you want to stay in Corpus Christi for? You ain't even in school. I just want to stay here because you want to be grown. Cool. You have a covering. And I told her this specifically. I said, I haven't given you away yet. I said, there's going to be a moment in the wedding where when you get married, I'm going to give you away to him. And when I give you to him, you can no longer call me for, I'll help you out if you need help or whatever, but I no longer have spiritual authority over you and a spiritual covering. I said, your husband will be that, and I will respect that covering through and through. And I said, so if you're expecting to do that now, go ahead and do it. I said, but
How did that feel, Tay?
The thing is, it was in a strange way a good thing for me. It was reassuring because you're essentially presenting a girl with like, hey, you have your dad who has been there for you forever, who has taken care of these things financially forever. On the table is you continue this relationship with faith that this person is taking that over, or you gonna find yourself paying your phone bill in 6 months when he break up with you.
I never
So
thought
it's
about
like,
that.
so it was never clearly a doubt that we were going to be together and continue to be together, because you're risking, like, at that point, semi-permanent assistance up until someone else is able to take over that covering. But you're faced with that choice, like in the face of technically uncertainty. You're not married, so like those vows have not been made. Like I did not have to continue to do anything, but in my character, I did. But like, even through ups and downs, through pettiness, someone could be like, all right, well, you pay your phone bill this month. You're like, well, I don't have it. Now you don't got a phone on. It's like, what? Now you calling dad. He said he's not doing it. Like, so, I mean, that was a big leap of faith. Yeah. It's like, wait, well, let me see your stuff move out first. I need to see a picture.
Send me photos.
Everything need to be at least on the moving truck. And then I'll send you the money for it. But no, yeah, I think that was important because that transition was like, all right, you're choosing to live a grown lifestyle. This is what that looks like. And you get to make the conscious decision. So if anything came up in the future, like you can go back to that moment. There's a pivotal moment of you making a conscious decision to take on these extra responsibilities. So I think from that point on, like that's kind of how I've operated.
Y'all was what, 19? 20?
I think we were
Maybe
21
20.
at that time. I remember it was after my 21st birthday.
Yep.
All the years are blurred. Been together so long. Like, 3 years is one of them.
I
Like,
was 21.
And y'all got married at what age?
That's a trick question.
2022.
Yeah, whatever 2022 was. We're 26. 26 turn.
Y'all
Yeah,
26.
I think 26 is right.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all were 26 years old.
Yeah.
Y'all got married. But yeah,
That
so
sounds
yeah.
so young. Like now that I'm looking back, I'm like, that it feels young.
Yeah, but
I don't want to get past this because this was a very defining moment of childbirth and how Clara came to be. You have been very open, especially you shared something on Facebook not too long ago about the journey of an angel baby. Unpack that.
So literally the day you don't want to hear this part, Dad. The day we got married, we were like, we should start trying to have a baby. Mm-hmm. And immediately began trying to have a baby. And then years came, like a year passed, and I started kind of getting nervous because I was just kind of like, everyone gets pregnant. Like, why am I not getting pregnant? It was a very weird feeling. But then you see online, like, oh, it can take up to a year for even healthy couples to get pregnant. So I was like, okay, fine. And then I noticed that I had like a kind of a hard spot in my stomach. And so I went to the doctor, and they ended up finding what they just said was a fibroid. It ended up not being a fibroid, spoiler alert. But they said it was a fibroid. They thought it was a fibroid or endometriosis. So they ended up scheduling what they call laparoscopic surgery to get open, get in there and see what was that lump in my stomach. And it ended up being a tumor. I can't think of the name.
It was dermoid cyst.
Yes, a dermoid cyst.
Yeah.
And it was a 5-pound dermoid cyst. It was huge. It was trilateral, 3 parts fused together, also fused on my right ovary. They could not find my right ovary, so they removed the ovary and the fallopian tube. And then I woke up to that news. Again, I thought I had a fibroid or I thought that I had endometriosis, but I woke up to finding out that, you have half as many eggs as you went to sleep with. And that actually wasn't as traumatizing to me in the moment as I think it could have been. So I thank my family for, and y'all remember y'all being there. Because y'all were kind of nervous. I remember y'all whispering, being like, did they tell her what happened?
Yeah.
And I was like, yes, they told me what happened.
Okay.
Yeah, I was like,
yeah. And so it still took a year to get pregnant. And then we conceived Claire.
We'll talk about that journey, because there's a lot of women that may be on that journey where that faith and it wasn't coming. And what was you doing to manifest your child, and what things that you put in play to keep you hopeful and moving in faith?
It was hard. It for sure, without a doubt, was the hardest thing I've ever went through individually as a woman. Because, you get told, as a woman, you're supposed to have a baby. That's the one thing you're supposed to do. So I was kind of carrying some shame of not conceiving, even though no one around me knew I was trying to conceive, but I knew. I remember every single month, even months where I knew we weren't hitting those fertile days and fertile windows. Anybody who's trying to conceive, you know what that means. If you're not conceiving, you don't even know what fertile days and you're like, what are you talking about? Times where I know we didn't hit those, I would still take a test and it'd be negative and would bawl my eyes out because it was negative. I'm like, oh my gosh, why is this not happening to me? It was hard. Mother's Day was hard. Father's Day was hard. Christmas was, every big holiday where you can think about people spending time with their families was hard. It came to a point to where when I was going to family gatherings and people weren't asking when they're going to have a kid, but just seeing people with their children kind of emphasized my lack, I guess, as a woman. And that was really, really, really hard for me. And also to add Tay in there, he was unemployed for a year. So it was this weird balance of being well, maybe God's trying to protect us from having this baby in this moment, knowing it'll be hard from us. But then I was also arguing with God in my head because I'm like, God, it takes 9 months for the baby to cook. So you might as well put the baby in there and then they'll be cooking and then he'll get a job.
We'll figure it out.
Yeah, I was just grasping at straws at that point. And so I remember the biggest time ever of me getting a negative test. It was before Father's Day. And I just knew I was pregnant. I was like, I am pregnant. I ordered stuff from Amazon to tell Tay that I was pregnant. I was so excited. I took a test and it said negative. And I bawled on the floor for an hour. And I prayed to God. I said, God, why would you put this desire to be a mother in my heart if you're not going to give me a child to mother? It felt almost like a sick joke, for lack of better words. It just felt I just felt like I wasn't whole. And I felt really guilty for feeling that way because I have a husband, I have dogs, I have family. I was loved. So it's what about being a mother was so big to me? But it was just a feeling. And when you get that feeling as a woman, it's you can't shake it. You can't shake it until that baby is literally in your arms. Not even your stomach. It has to be in your arms for you to get past that feeling. And then that same day, one of my best friend, basically called me and told me that she was pregnant. And when I tell you that was my biggest test of faith, because I remember her telling me that, and she specifically wanted to FaceTime, and she told me on FaceTime, and my heart just filled with just pain. Because it was her second baby. I hadn't had my first. I'm comparing myself dang, what am I doing wrong? What are we doing wrong? And I remember I got off the phone with her and Tay said, hey, let's talk about something. And I'm like, what's up? He's like, how do you feel you took the news of your friend telling you that she was pregnant? I said, I mean, she told me, like, what is it? He was like, you don't think that you were being standoffish or like kind of rude or kind of like insensitive? And I was offended that he came to me like that, because I'm like, well, I'm struggling. Like, well, how do you expect me to act? He's like, well, you can't act like that.
Yeah.
Even when you're faced with that, which I understand was hard, it doesn't give you the excuse to be standoffish. My argument was that I wasn't rude. I didn't yell at her. I didn't roll my eyes. He's like, but you weren't even excited. It was very apparent to see that. And then at that moment, I took a step back, and I remember the sermon that I had near that time at church talked about making things an idol in your life. And I realized that I made becoming a mother an idol in my life, where nothing else mattered, and I just worshiped the idea of being a mother to someone. And though that could be something that is okay, it's not, you can idolize worse things. I realized it had reached a point where it was unhealthy. And then, so fast forward some months, I actually conceived. I think it was October 2024, and I was so excited. I always told myself that when I conceived, I wouldn't tell anybody until I was X amount. I told everybody I peed on the stick. I said, I'm pregnant, everybody. I was so excited. That was the best feeling ever. And then me and Tay cried about it, and it was the best feeling ever. And I was pregnant for 2 weeks. Technically 6 weeks in pregnancy time, but 2 weeks of knowing that I was pregnant. And I had a miscarriage while I was at work. And that, I can't even recall to you what that moment was, because I think I just like turned into myself. I was like, everyone around me was like, how are you? Like, I feel like everyone was walking on eggshells around me, but I was assuring everybody, I'm fine. Don't worry about it. I'm fine. I was not fine. I was bawling my eyes out. I was crying. Tay was worried about me. I wasn't fine at all. But then I said, you know what? You got pregnant once. You can get pregnant again. I don't want to try it, but I know we can get pregnant again. And then here this man is being like, we have to try. Like, you cannot get pregnant again unless we try to get pregnant again. Like, this is what it has to be. So we prayed about it together. He was already involved in me tracking my cycles and everything like that. But him being the analytical person that he is, when he can understand the science behind something, he's like, okay, well, Google says that if you do this and this and this, it increases your chances. Let me grab her. It increases your chances of conceiving. And so we actually conceived Claire, December 2024. So the cycle after I had my miscarriage. So about a month after I had my miscarriage.
I remember that phone conversation. I had just got finished doing the interview, and I was driving. I had pulled on the side of the road because you were just crying. You was like, Dad. And I forgot your exact words because they were so strong, where you was like, pretty much, I'm not a woman if I can't have a kid. And I said, no. And I knew in that moment, don't try to male-splain it, just listen. And you were just going, like, what value do I have? If I can't be a mother, what is my purpose? What is this? Like, why? And I just sat there and I said, this is one thing I can't fix. And as a father, I always jump to try to fix certain things. And I was like, I can't do nothing. And then God, after I got the phone and said, you can't do nothing. I said, I can't do nothing. He said, you can pray. And I was like, yeah, but he said, why does it have to be a but? Pray. And I prayed, and at first I wanted to pray a prayer that if you don't have a kid, let you be okay with it. But my faith be like, I don't like ifs. So I said, God, let her have a kid. Like, let her have a child, because I do not want my daughter going through this earth feeling like she is less than, period. And I was like, I ain't gonna tell her that though. That I prayed that prayer. I'm just gonna be like, hey, and let it be what it is. And I was just silent, but I cried in that car, and I was like, God, because I'll never understand what that feels like as a woman. I can only speak about it from a male standpoint, but as a woman to feel like that and to know all the steps that you were doing in order to position yourself into that, and how much pushback you got from even your friends that said, why do you make, like, all you want to be is a mother and a wife? Like, that's it.
You don't have any career desires? Or
and you was like, that's what I want. And at first you felt ashamed about it. And then you start saying, no, it's okay that I want to be a mother and a wife. Like, that's okay. And I never knew that until you were struggling being a mother. And I was like, oh, dang, you thought that? You know what I'm saying? Where did that come from, by the way?
What part?
That your whole purpose and desire in life to be a mother and a wife. You didn't have any type of career ambitions.
You said I didn't do great in school. Not saying because I didn't do great in school. I'm like,
I'm only choice. I guess that's all I got.
That's not at all what happened. But when I think about what brings me joy and what brings me personally purpose, I love my husband. I think about our future together, having children and raising them and taking them on family trips and like all kind of things like that. Like those are the things that actually brought me joy. So it made me think, because I used to struggle with the idea of why don't I have a passion? Like, why aren't I good at anything? Like, what is my thing that I'm going to be good at? And then I kind of just realized one day, like, I think I'm supposed to just be a good mom and a good wife. And like, to me, that is kingdom work. Like that's an amazing thing, is to be a mom and a wife, a good mom and a good wife. So I stopped being ashamed of it and just embraced it. And it doesn't mean, and I do want to take back on, saying the things that I said when like, I don't have value without being able to bear children. That is not true at all. Like that was just me speaking from a place of hurt.
Right.
Even if I did not have children, if God did not want me to have children, that means that is not what I was supposed to do. And that would be a very hard pill to swallow. And it's easier on hindsight to say that. But yeah, I do think that's just where my heart led me. And then now that I'm a mom and a wife, I'm happy. Like I just feel fulfilled every day. I feel joy. I just feel complete.
And Tay, how did you feel about that? Knowing that she was struggling through all that.
From the entirety of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so going back to the loss, I think that was, you kind of said a lot of the same things that I went through. I think we, at different points in her life, got to play the role of like Mr. Fix-It. Like I think every problem she's faced in the tenure of us dating is somehow ended up right in front of me, and I've embraced it. I've fixed it. I have a bad habit of sometimes fixing everything, and sometimes like, hold on, Mr. Fixer, like listen.
Yeah.
But that was one of the few times that when that happened, I think it's easy for people to, if it's not like heavy on your heart to be a parent, when loss happens early, I think it's like weighed differently. I think people view someone being like 6 months along as just leaps and bounds worse to somebody emotionally than it would be if it was like a 2 to 3 week pregnancy in that case.
Okay.
And just to see her go through those phases and like the helplessness of like, it's zero things that I can do. I can pray with you. I can pray for you. I can like hug you, hold you. I can assure you. But at the end of the day, I can't fix what the problem is. I can't like hold a child in your womb for 9 months until it's ready to come out. So I think like that was very humbling. And I think it opened up the door for me to, I guess, like understand my own emotions better. Because I think a lot of times you, just as a man in general, you go through so many phases of life that you just overcome, and you just kind of like, you harden a little bit. Like you get that thick skin, you get tougher. So as you handle a problem, it just doesn't faze you the same, and you feel it and it stings, but you somehow find a way to continue to move forward almost so fast that you don't really process it. And I think she forced me to like sit there and process it and like process what it's like to have somebody else as well be going through strong emotions. And it gave me an opportunity to be the quote unquote strong one and make sure that we were continuing moving forward. Otherwise we wouldn't have tried. And I can't say with certainty if we didn't try as like quickly as we did, it wouldn't be this baby right here. So I think that was important.
And Claire was born, what was the date?
August 15th, 2025.
And that wasn't an easy situation.
It wasn't.
What touch real quickly on how that came to be?
Yeah, so I actually had Claire at 35 weeks and 1 day. So that's about, or was it 34 weeks and 1 day? I don't know. But I had her about 5 weeks early because I developed preeclampsia, which means I had high blood pressure. And I was getting constant headaches. So they just felt like it was better to induce me. She was doing well. So to protect me, they induced me. And that was very scary because I didn't want to have a baby in the NICU. Like, you hear on social media, like having babies in the NICU was like scary, and so that was very scary for me. But I was kind of like, I didn't even have time to be scared because they were just like, I just went in for a headache, and they were like, well, we're inducing you tonight, so.
Yeah, that came about pretty quick.
Yeah.
I think there were some fears because you just do not know. You don't know like the condition of your child. I think through their ultrasounds, they were like, it was wrong in hindsight, but they were saying she was going to be like 4 pounds, which is like very small.
Yeah.
That was not the case. She was like 6.5 pounds. So we'll work harder on the medicine side to get that the sonograms up. But yeah, I think you just have all these concerns. You don't know like the health of your wife, the health of your child. Going in and messing with the process and like trying to force something to happen early. Like, I don't know what that looks like. That's not how God intended. So again, there was concerns for sure, but I think it just happened so fast. You just pray, you move forward, you continue to go. And thankfully we can say in hindsight that it was a pretty good experience overall in terms of like how everything played out.
Claire came into this earth, and a few months, y'all after she was born, y'all said that y'all want to have y'all second child around what time?
Probably when she was like 2.
Yeah.
But then as the weeks and months were creeping by, we were like, maybe 5. And
Yeah.
we were like, maybe we'll be only parents of 1.
Yeah.
'Cause that sounds fun too.
And then what happened?
Claire hit 4 months. I said, Tay, my period's late, but I know I'm not pregnant. He's like, yeah, you're just probably, you just stopped breastfeeding. You probably, your body's still regulating. And I didn't have any pregnancy tests. So I went on my neighborhood's Facebook group. And it was also during the winter storm too.
Yep.
Fun fact. So I went on my neighborhood's Facebook group and I said, hey, I posted anonymously. I said, do any women have any spare pregnancy tests? And what's funny is the woman who had a spare pregnancy test was a woman who gave me free formula when I was supplementing breastfeeding Claire, giving her formula. And I peed on the stick. And before I even could blink, it was 2 lines on it.
Oh, it was fast. That's the fastest 2 lines I've seen come up ever.
At all the times I've begged to see 2 lines.
And then y'all's first response was what?
Who, mine or his?
Each one of y'all.
You go first.
For me, it was initial like shock. I think I just didn't think it was possible. Like we worked so hard to get a child.
Yeah.
And then just randomly like, and here's another one. Like it's like, okay, well, I guess maybe it can be easy. And sometimes if you just want it bad enough, I guess some extra obstacles got to come up first. But
and then what was your response?
I took it hard, if I could be honest. I cried, I sobbed, I bawled. Tay ended up just taking Claire out and was like, I'm going to give you some space. And he just left the room with Claire. Because I was thinking, why? Like, I am like in the thick of postpartum, just finished like breastfeeding, was worn out from that, just started back work, nowhere near like feeling like I'm getting the grasp of stuff. I was happy because I kind of got back skinny quickly. But other than that, I just really took it really, really hard that we conceived a baby 4 months postpartum.
Now, isn't that crazy? And this is what happens, Ashley. She over here praying. I just want to be a mom and a wife. I just want kids. I want to be a mother. I want to do this. Have 2 kids back to back. And she's like, oh, why God? Why God? Be like, oh my God. You are so like, what's wrong with these people? Why they always complain about everything? I done gave you what you wanted. Now you're mad because it didn't happen when you wanted. You want it to happen 2 years or 3 years later, or 5 years later. You want it to happen on your timing. When God knew that maybe 5 years later, you may not be able to have a kid. So God says, in all my infinite wisdom, this is the time and the season for you to have it. It's not based on your convenience. It's based on my timing. And how long did it take you to reconcile to get to a place where you said, God, not my will, but let thy will be done?
Probably like a good 3 months. It took me a while.
And then 3 months, what did you end up accepting?
I accepted that I'm supposed to be pregnant. I may not think I'm supposed to be carrying a baby. I may think this was an accident or a mistake, but this child was never a mistake. Just because I didn't plan for it doesn't mean it was a mistake. Because me and Tay are such like serial planners. We love planning out the next step for our life. We didn't get to plan this, so it felt like oops, sorry, to figure that out. Good luck with that. It felt like an obstacle. But then I realized maybe God wants this baby here for a reason.
Facts.
Maybe Claire is supposed to be a big sister to somebody really close in age. Maybe it's not even about you at all.
Yeah.
Like, stop thinking it's about you and woe is you. Like
Yep.
Claire gets to have a little sibling.
Yep.
Like how cool is that?
Built-in bestie.
Yeah,
Built-in
yeah.
bestie.
And then I remember after finding out the gender and finding out it was a boy, it was confirmation of, oh yeah, God wanted us to have this exact story. We didn't get pregnant in college. We didn't get pregnant when we were living together. We didn't get pregnant when we were engaged. We got pregnant at 29 years old. That seems like a pretty good age to have a child, you know, in terms of like everything that we've been through together. Like it may feel like a teen pregnancy, but it's not.
Teen pregnancy.
So yeah, it took me 3 months to realize like this baby is a blessing. And that was also a struggle that I had because being a part of like the trying to conceive community, I felt guilty for being frustrated that I was pregnant when I know that there are women who want to be pregnant right now. So that was definitely something that I struggled with and prayed about, and honestly forced me to get over my own self quicker.
Yeah.
Because it was just like, girl, what are you crying about? Like 2 years ago, you were crying to get pregnant, and now you're pregnant. So what are you crying about? No, you don't know how you're gonna afford this or afford that or make these things work, but it's going to. Like it's gonna work out.
And how'd you feel, Tay? How long did it take you to come around and accept?
You know, I think for me it was a lot quicker because my problems were not necessarily struggling with like the idea of being a parent to a second child so early. I think I get to skip a lot of the stuff. I'm not growing a stomach. I'm not about to sit on a table and give birth. So I can quicker get to this child's a blessing. Like I'm ready to receive them. I think for me initially, the biggest things are just like, just sorted out her daycare situation. She was
It's so expensive.
It is.
Is it? Yeah. I mean, again, standard rates where we're around $1,500 a month, and they'll give you a nice little 10% discount for the second one.
Yeah.
So
Thanks.
yeah. So we'll be paying somebody mortgage soon. But
God, that's crazy.
But yeah, I think that's where I was focused on because I think I came out of a season of, again, not working for like a year. And again, I wasn't just not doing anything for anybody who wants to know. But just kind of going through a season of training and building myself up to be able to reach this point of like providing in the way that I can now. Everything was intentional. Like I made so many intentional, like calculated risk and steps to like build myself up to double my income, a little more than double my income. It's like, okay, this is where we have to be to afford everything that this little girl will want. Like have her a home that she can come back to, that she'll be raised in. Like I envisioned that. So I think another kid coming early is like, okay, this is overlapping. Like I was hoping you would be in school or going to school soon, and I only got to juggle it for a little bit. It's like, this is going to be at the same time almost. Like y'all are, I hate to say it, but there's only a couple months separating them being in the same grade. But we don't talk too much about that.
Yeah, for real.
But it's only a couple months separating that.
Well,
yeah.
Well, we definitely want to say y'all doing an amazing job.
Yes.
There's
Thank
no
you.
textbook to show you how to do this thing. You just experience it through the grace of God. And I know y'all read and chat GPT questions and answers to all life situations of parenting. But just know y'all doing an amazing job. I want to salute you as a man for covering my daughter properly, for being a mighty man of valor that has, like, you know, as a father, we wonder what type of man will our daughter marry. We may even question whether or not our daughter will get married. I never had a question whether or not she would get married. I just want to know who this man was. And you've exceeded my expectations, and I have extremely high expectations. You've exceeded it. You've covered her in ways that, and you said this earlier about the way that I covered her. You came in and just did that. And what was so great about it is that I could sit back and rest. Even when you weren't employed during that season or whatever, I never sat there and made you feel less than. I was like, you got it. Y'all, this is what the season y'all in right now. This is fine. No big deal. You always, in that season, you studied so you could level up in your next position. You went and got a different certification so that you could level up in your next employment. I remember y'all called about whether or not y'all can go forward with this house that y'all live in now. And you was like, well, how are we going to do this? I was like, if you wait, it's going to be longer to qualify for it. Get it right now so you can get out of paying rent, and y'all can, shoot, if y'all gonna struggle paying for it, y'all struggle paying for a house instead of struggling paying for an apartment. And y'all did that, and look, Y'all doing great.
Yep.
Y'all have y'all first home. So again, I salute you. Oftentimes, I had my buddy David Burris on the podcast a few years ago, and that's one of Ashley's favorite episodes. And they talk about how being a man isn't fair, that oftentimes we're not celebrated. And I would be remiss if I didn't celebrate you this Father's Day. Ladarian.
Oh, Lord. I see a logo on this bag. Hold on.
What logo do you see?
Because, you know, I am not a materialistic person at all.
Yeah.
But if somebody makes me. If somebody makes me. Oh, look at that. It's a nice Gucci box. Oh, my.
Claire said, let me get in on
Want
this.
to help Daddy? Yeah, come on. Oh, they playing no games. They playing no
You
games.
throw the box down.
All right, let's go ahead and unveil this. Again, packaging is crazy. Oh,
All right,
Look at
you gave the
those.
wrong one. But Darren, you gave the wrong box.
nope, too late. No,
So let me just jump in here and say that he was going to surprise you, but then I wasn't going to let him not get his surprise today, too.
Wow.
I also went shopping
Wow.
and went to...
Well, thank you for my shoes. Let me see what my shoes look like.
You know what? Hey, you know what? I think you are an awesome father. I really want to take the time to celebrate you. I really want to make sure that you feel appreciated this Father's Day. So this is my gift to you.
But Darren, was that the one under the?
All right, Clay, I let you help out last time. Oh, you know what? This ain't that bad. They're really going all out. Not a speck of dust can get on this. Okay, I feel some tread on there. Oh, would you look at that? Okay. Yeah, no, for sure. I got plenty of fits with all of these colors, so I can mix and match and be the flyest person in my office.
Yes, for sure.
Can y'all wear that? Y'all can wear like 10 shoes.
Oh, anything, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
These centers are like super casual.
Yeah.
You gonna go?
Yeah, no,
for
this is
her,
awesome.
Well, happy
What do
Father's
you
Day.
think?
Look.
Oh,
Your daddy got some new shoes.
They're gonna say we pay you too much.
Be like, hold on.
Like, wait a minute.
His salary.
Yeah, I don't know. No, that is so funny though. But thank you. Though. I really
happy
appreciate it.
Father's Day.
Happy
Tay.
Father's
Thank
Day.
you so much.
Happy Father's
are
Day
amazing.
times 2.
Well, and
Times two.
Yeah,
times 2.
Yeah.
Times 2.
Yeah.
And Ladarian, can you grab the other bag in there as well? Because like I said, we got to celebrate Mr. Dear Future Wifey, my husband. So I had to just buy him a few gifts as well.
Okay.
Even though we got started already. We went to Burke Williams at the top of the month, just, so he could have a special facial. Because your dad, do you know that about him?
Yes.
He loves his facials.
Yes.
But I also went shopping because I know how much he loves Gucci. So I just wanted to spoil him a little bit.
Father's Day on Wednesday. Oh, this is nice. Let's see.
Well, no, open the other ones first.
Oh, you just did. This is
No, but
brand shoes.
I wanted you to hold
Well, I
them.
already looked at them.
He
Let me
looked at
look
them.
at this one that's in my hand. Yeah.
Oh, those are nice.
I've been needing some white shoes.
Yes.
There you go.
Those
Yeah.
go with what you have on today.
Huh?
Those go with what you have on right
Heck
now.
yeah.
That's
Sure
right.
do.
These are clean. Look at that. Look at the bottom of
Look
it.
at
Nice.
the Gucci on the bottom.
Gucci, where I walk, or put it in the sand.
And Gucci, you should be sponsoring us.
Amen. Amen. Yeah, these are nice.
You like those?
Heck yeah, I like these. These are dope. These will look great with jeans. They look great with a suit. They look great with shorts. You can wear it with everything. This is nice. Thank you. And then let me see this. You want me to pull out the other shoes and act surprised like I just didn't see it?
Yes. And what else is in there?
What? In the
Keep
box?
going. Yeah, no. Keep going in the other bag.
Oh, that's what I'm doing. My mom would pass out if she knew how much these shoes cost. You know us. Oh, there's a.
What,
Hold on.
what you got in there?
Hold on.
Look at that excitement.
Yeah, I was like, what is
That's a
this?
different kind of box.
Yeah, that's a different kind of box.
Pretty girl.
Hold on, I want to take it real nice and I can't. Let's see this in here.
Ooh.
Oh, this is a belt. Oh, this is the belt
Oh,
with the
nice.
shoes.
Yeah, that matches the shoes.
Oh, yeah.
You know, a little
Yeah, a little Gucci belt.
Gucci. What's say?
It say Gucky. She got the knockoff version called Gucky. No.
You know, they put a lot of effort into that packaging with that knockoff. I'm gonna need that connect.
You done got somebody real good if they can package it with the sticker and everything.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
If it's a knockoff, they fooled me.
Yeah, for real. The whole bag and everything. This is beautiful. Look at this. Got the belt and the shoes. What is this? How you do this? Oh, like that. You see this, Mom? You see my Father's Day gift? She said, praise God.
All before Father. It's not even Father's Day yet.
Yeah, it's not even Father's Day.
I wonder what's in there.
I wonder.
What is these? Oh, wow. What are these? Wow.
Man.
I ain't seen
these are
nothing
clean.
like
I ain't
those.
seen nothing like this
Clean.
before.
Boy,
Look at this.
you gonna be stepping clean.
Wow.
Those are nice. though.
These are nice.
Yeah.
Oh, look at the bottom. It's a rubber bottom, which is great.
Those are very you.
Yeah.
Like
aren't
if you
they?
wear a shoe, like a dress shoe.
This is nice.
Yep.
This is nice.
Yeah, that's top tier
like
right there.
Absolutely. He says top tier.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
The ground will thank you for walking on it.
Got my dress shoes. See, what happened was I misplaced my brown shoes, so she's been hearing me talk about my brown shoes. I don't know where they was. I had
Just
some,
lost a whole pair of Gucci shoes.
I had some Gucci dress shoes, and I wore it when I did an interview in January, and I ain't seen them since.
He been looking for them
Probably at the
shoes.
hotel or something.
I said,
Well, they were here in Dallas, and I don't know where it is.
yeah.
And so I appreciate you for even giving me a gift, because that is what have I always told you to get me for.
Words, write me a letter. That's what he would say. Write me a letter, something like kind and.
So
words of
of-
affirmation.
Yeah, words of affirmation. And so this right here means a lot, because I also like to dress. And so I love this, but it's hard for me to receive gifts. Are you like that, Tay? Are you real funny about getting gifts?
Gifts, but I'm also funny with praise at times. It just depends. Like, I feel like it's not just that things are an expectation. I think I just kind of operate in a space of like, I do it because, you know what I mean? Like, I don't do it looking for. So sometimes when it comes, it feels like, all right, now you're embarrassing me. You're doing a little extra. Like, you a little extra spotlight than I was expecting.
We couldn't sing a happy birthday for his birthday at the restaurant.
Yeah,
that was
no.
too much attention.
Yeah, it's weird for me, because I think like a lot of times, like what you're being thanked for is sometimes like the impact that you have in other people's lives. And I think for me, it's weird, but like I more so appreciate just seeing that you enjoyed it. So I think, again, that the same is for you, because words of affirmation, they're affirming you, the things that you do, they appreciate those actions. I really just want to see it. Like, if you're happy and you seem like you enjoy life, and like she just mentioned, like she feels fulfilled in being like a wife and a mom. If I'm contributing to that, then I'm happy with it regardless. And like, I just don't really look to receive like a lot of validation for it. I guess like I appreciate it. I definitely appreciate it. But I think like it can be a little weird to receive at times, like too big of gestures.
How did it feel for me to give you those?
Oh, I appreciate it. Don't get me wrong. Because it's something I wouldn't do for myself. But I think it's still a little weird at times, like receiving things for stuff that you do just because. Like, I'm not going to stop doing it whether you did or didn't do it. So I appreciate the thought and I appreciate the sentiment. And I'm definitely going to wear them.
Well, let me tell you this. The reason why I did go above and get you some really, really nice shoes is because I got a call from you a few months ago where you were like, you know what? I've been thinking. You've been talking about wanting to build legacy, and you're this is the conversation you had with me, and you said, I found a way through a platform to create you a whole infrastructure for Dear Future Wifey that can create more engagement with your audience, that can build an ecosystem for them to get more value out of Dear Future Wifey. The fact that you thought like that is everything that I wanted as I build legacy with family. And so when you said that, and I was like, and then a lot of times I'm not as responsive, because you like, well, dang, I'm creating all this and you still ain't told me or whatever, and I'm juggling, I'm traveling, I'm doing all this. Claire, I'm talking. And so so what happened was, when you started operating like that, I was like, man, that's extremely great that you have the forethought to do that and the type of work. And LaTerria called me up one day. She said, Dad, Tay hasn't heard from you, and he's been sitting there. He sent you some stuff, and he don't know how you feel, or did you see it, or do you like it, or what, or whatever, because she's finna go to bat for you. And I was like, no, I don't know. It's not that. It's just that when I get on the phone with him, I want to make sure I have my ducks in a row that I can spend ample time. As you hear Ashley throwing shade, that it may take 3-4 hours or 5 hours, as she say. So I know that if I'm just gonna be really quick with you, then I'm not giving you the attention that is necessary. So, but what I could have done was like, hey, let's schedule time so we can actually have time. I want to give you my undivided attention and not something real short. And so, so again, I already apologized to you for that, but what you did was greatly appreciated. And the other stuff that you started working on that you haven't even shown me yet. You know what I'm saying? You like, I done worked on this or whatever. I'll be like, God, look, this dude is just, because again, here's another one of my flaws. It's hard for me to receive that. It's hard for me to receive that somebody that I didn't give money to, I didn't pay to do this, they took it upon themselves to say, let me create this for a vision that you have. So in all honesty, it made me uncomfortable because the first thing I started doing was like, how much I need to pay him for this? I don't know how much time he did, whatever. And you ain't came to me and said, you owe me. You know what I'm saying? You like, no, this is what I'm doing to build our family. And so I celebrate you. I thank you so much for having the vision, the insight, and the forethought to create what you created that I can't wait to introduce to this audience. So I salute you, King. I appreciate you. I love you. And I thank you so much. I thank you so much.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. That's super sweet to say. I think finding ways to use what I'm passionate about to impact like family and legacy, and just like, I think everybody searches for like what those skills are and what they're good at. And it took me a lot of ups and downs, lefts and rights and circles in life to end up in my trade of software engineering. And I think from building things all the time, I'm like, what can I do that I'm passionate about? What can I do that can impact somebody, impact like my family, our family?
All right, grab that box there. I want y'all to write a key to love.
Can I say something?
Yeah, pull the microphone closer.
Say Happy Father's Day.
Oh, go ahead.
I just wanted to say something because I feel like Father's Day is one of those like underwhelming holidays.
Yep.
Where people don't necessarily, like, you get on Father's Day on Facebook on Father's Day and see Mother's Day posts.
Yeah.
Like, y'all know what I mean.
Don't do that, y'all. Stop
y'all know what I
doing
mean.
that. Stop doing that.
And I just feel like, can we not do that? Because
Don't do that.
There also are fathers who deserve to be celebrated and highlighted. And
or if you don't have a father that you want to celebrate any man who's had an impact.
Figure,
exactly. Anybody. But let's stop posting mothers on Father's Day.
I cringe.
I'm a daddy and the mama.
Yeah, I cringe at
doing
that.
that.
I'm like, I get your point, but it seems like hate-filled. And I feel like fathers deserve to have a love-filled.
Yes.
You know, because you go out on Mother's Day, this is my first Mother's Day, this past Mother's Day, and you see like everyone with their families and the mothers are getting doted on and loved, and you get on Facebook, the Facebook post. So I just feel like fathers deserve to have that too.
Yes.
So I wanted to just say that.
And what you want to say? You was going to say to Tay?
I'm sorry. Well, I wanted to tell you,
Happy
Father's Day. Yes. Happy Father's Day. I would not be the woman that I am right now without you. And it took me like not really far into my adulthood to realize the impact of having a good father on a daughter, especially. I know men need fathers too, but I think daughters also need fathers. Yep. It's just shaped the kind of woman that I am. I wanted to say, I know Tay pretty much said that a lot of the things that he has, like you have, like the similar, like I guess a big one is like work ethic. I've seen him stay up to like 2 or 3 in the morning working on the things that he's worked on that you didn't ask him for, but just out of just true passion. And that reminds me so much of you. Because growing up, I just saw you working. People didn't understand what you did. People would say, what does your dad do? I'm like, everything. He's an artist. That's just what he does. So I just want you to know that, you know, all your hard work does not go unnoticed. I love you. You are still my very best friend to this day. I love you so much, and thank you so much for being a daddy to me.
Thank you so much, daughter.
You're welcome.
That's why we say daughter.
That's so sweet.
And then to my husband, I just wanted to say thank you so much for being the man that you are to our family. I used to call us a small family, but I don't think we're considered a small family no more. No. I feel like if it's 4 of us, That's just a family. So thank you so much I see you work day in and day out. You travel to work, you commute to work. You make life so easy for me. I want you to know that. I do value all the work that you put in every single day for our family. The way that Claire lights up the room she smiles. See her smile lights up the room when you walk in. I love that. I can't wait to see you guys' relationship blossom as she gets to realize how lucky she is for having a dad that loves her. I also used to get jealous at the fact that she looks like you, but I'm like my dad too. So I can't even be mad. But I love you. And thank you for being a good daddy.
Oh, thank you. That was sweet.
You're welcome.
Love it. Now y'all grab that box right there.
Okay.
And I want y'all to it's 2 keys in there and 2 markers. Well, 2 pieces of paper. I want y'all to use the top of it to write down a key to love. What do you think seeing this little one right here?
Well, it's so cool because I don't know if the world knows, but I got to meet Claire when she was 2 days old.
Yeah. She was like fresh out the womb.
She was fresh out, and I didn't even think like that I was supposed to be allowed to hold this beautiful gift from God. And LaTerria put her in my arms, so it
started crying.
No, hey, my eyes were sweating. It was a long day. I was tired, and just to see, it's like watching a miracle. Yeah. So I try not to get emotional, but babies are such a gift from God that I feel the presence of God around around babies. And I do want Mom to come make a cameo.
She can when they I'm gonna have them go and put the key up there, and I'm gonna tell Darren to come here and my mom come here, and I'm gonna talk to them about 2 minutes, and then they leave. Okay. All right. So what was the key that you wrote?
Me?
Yeah. Push the microphone close to your mouth.
Oh. So I wrote, the key to love is growth.
Growth. Did you write your name?
No.
Sign your name on it. Okay. And Tay,
that's a good point. No, I did not, but I will. Pull this guy back. So for me, the key to love is choosing to love each version your partner becomes.
Why is that important?
I think, as she said, I am not the same person. I think I don't really believe in the whole like Cupid mentality of like it's love at first sight and it's just sunshine and rainbows from that point forward. There's a lot of growth that happens. So I think that bleeds into what you said accidentally. But
that's what I meant.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of growth. Yeah, that ends up happening. And like she saw the vision. I saw the vision. She was a great person at heart, and she strived to be an even better person, and I did too. And as long as that is the core of your being, you're good people that love each other and want the best for each other, I think it can and will work out. It just won't always be easy. I don't think it ever will be easy. So it's a conscious decision that we've made and we've continued to make and will continue to make, is to love the forever changing and forever growing and adapting to like what our new reality is, because we have one new change and another one coming. Yep.
That's good. All right, LaTerria, sign your name and put the, and then go hang it up on that. Both of y'all put it on that available hook. Well, thank y'all so much for showing up, being transparent and vulnerable. May the love you share today outlive the season you in.
May it carry you through the days when words are few and faith has to do the talking.
Y'all give it up for the COSBYs, y'all. All right, so listen, Dear Future Wifey family, also known as Lit Fam and Love Scholars, since this is a special holiday, Father's Day, I would be remiss if I didn't bring my nephew son, Ladarian, and my mom, Lillian Whitfield, on the podcast. They were just sitting here because my mom was here in case Claire needed to step out, and so she could watch her. And then Ladarian was lucky enough today to be off, and so I wanted him to do the switching for the episode today. So how y'all doing?
I'm doing great.
I'm doing pretty good. What was it like raising me?
Most like you just doing what you want to do.
Explain.
You pretty much raising yourself, I guess. I don't know what you do.
You said I was raising myself.
I guess because you had things in your mind what you wanted to do and you did it. So I just praise God you did it.
You want to ask any question?
Well, I think I know about the raising part, but I guess so. You said he kind of did his own thing and he raised himself in some ways. So when you look back now at the father that he is, at the man that he is, what are you most proud of?
Well, I'm looking at it because he always put, well, he kind of like me, family first. And like I say, he just believed in family. Like I said, I knew the night when God saved him. So God showed him I was at church. I didn't know it was him.
What did God show you?
He showed me the symbol where a lot of raindrops are falling down, and the symbol of salvation. It was in my family. I didn't know it till the next day that it was him. So I just praise God because my prayers always been, on my family. And he have come a long ways, and I thank God for him because the day that one thing I thought about asking God, who's going to take care of me when I got old? I didn't know it was going to be him. And, but that's the way it came out to be. And I thank God for him. And like I said, he put me, into everything. A lot of stuff I didn't understand a lot of ways that he was going through, but I know when y'all was talking about him talking a long time, I know.
What you know about that?
He talking. He like you had, I said, we're not in court.
Wait, what do you say, Mom?
Not in court.
We are not in court. That is funny. That is hilarious.
I used to always get in trouble growing up for talking in class and talking a lot in school. And she would always get on me. You see, the teacher done said you were talkative. You got in trouble again. I was like, hey, that's just, maybe I'll be something where talking is necessary. And hence, the Dear Future Wifey podcast. Here we have it. But Darren,
Yeah.
congratulations. You just graduated high school. How you feel?
Honestly, okay, I can say this. When it happened, and I told you the day before, I was low-key stressed about a lot of stuff, and I was feeling bad, and we had the conversation about, like, don't worry about that stuff. Leave that in the past, because tomorrow's your day. And that's exactly what I did, so I enjoyed it. I appreciate you for bringing my grandma, Deontay. I appreciate my mama for going. Appreciate my dad for coming. It was a really happy moment. I appreciate you for, what's her name?
Keisha.
Yeah, Aunt Keisha for going. I almost forgot. Oh, my goodness. Sorry about that. And I appreciate you for having that dinner afterwards, too. So I really appreciate that. So I really enjoyed my day because of it.
You've gone through an unconventional journey of fatherhood. It's interesting because, of course, you never call me father. You never call me dad. You call me uncle. What happens in your mind as we approach Father's Day with knowing that I play the position and the role of father, but yet and still I don't have that title?
Okay, well, me, I'm like, you deserve the title. It's not like, oh, you don't deserve it, nothing like that. It's not like that. It's literally just, it feels weird calling you my father because blood related, you're my uncle, you're my mom's brother. So it felt weird calling you my father. And
But
also,
you look at him like a father.
yeah, I look at him as a father, but I call him uncle. Plus, I've been, even before I even got adopted by him, Uncle Terry was like, it kind of just stuck with me. So.
What you want to ask him?
I guess as you think about Father's Day, and I guess the most important thing that you've learned from your uncle, what would you say that is?
That's a lot of things. So it's a good few things. So, we be having talks and stuff. So, I say this is more recent. Cause me, I don't really talk about my problems and nothing like that. And I've been trying to be become better with that. And I say that's probably the thing I learned the most is be more transparent with people. Cause I'm not like, I'm still saying right now, I'm still like not perfect with that, but I've been trying to tell people I care about, how I'm feeling, and stuff like that. That's why recently, all the other stuff I've been talking about that stuff too. And I usually wouldn't talk about that at all. I just keep it to myself. So I say that.
So tell him how you feel about him, because words mean everything to him. So take this moment to share how you feel.
Okay, hold on. I have to keep it G because I don't want to get emotional. Because at times when I started speaking my feelings, I started getting emotional just like him. But okay. Hold up. Oh boy. I appreciate everything you've done for me. Like genuinely, you literally took me out of foster care when I was 7. And that's literally 10 years ago. Well, finna be 11 years ago. You didn't ask for this. You wasn't supposed to, this wasn't supposed to happen. Like, I wasn't your son, essentially. But you always treated me as when you took me as your son. I have to really think about myself. You're the closest person I have. Because we've been like literally, even before Armani and all that stuff, it was just me and you for a good 2-3 years. So I just want to say I really appreciate everything you've done for me. And you're the best dad anybody could have. Don't cry. Because if you start crying, I might start crying. I ain't trying to cry on camera.
Thank you. Thank you. God has positioned you for greatness if you allow it. As you get ready to go to college, I want you to be a mighty man of valor. I want you to be a man that doesn't have to always make mistakes to learn from them, but you can look at other people's mistakes and learn from their mistakes, and you can just do the right thing for righteous sake. You can literally say, God, who have you called me to be? I don't have to go through a difficult journey and then be on the outside of it or be at the rock bottom and then learn to build myself up. I can use wisdom and learn right now, and I don't have to make these same mistakes. And so I believe in you. I trust the God in you. And I want you, I always say for you to do better than I've ever done.
Yes,
I want you to be a better man than I ever was and who I am. And I want you to accomplish more than I've ever accomplished because you can stand on my shoulders and get there faster. I told that to LaTerria. You can stand on my shoulders and get there faster. Whatever I am and whatever you see that you admire about me, you can be that and more because you have me. And you actually, now you got a bonus mom where you got Ashley that you see she relentless.
Yeah.
Yeah, Ashley.
Wait, why'd you say that so fast? Why did you say that?
Not even just on me. Conversations you have with other people, I see it. So
okay.
She relentless, ain't she?
Yes. But she showed that she cares, so it's a good thing.
She ain't gonna let you fail, is she?
No.
And if you fail, it ain't gonna be easy failing her.
No.
She gonna keep on, she gonna stay on you. And so again, thank you for being that type of woman that can cover him and stay consistent. Y'all give it up for my son, LaDarian, and my mom, William Whitfield. LaDarian rusted suddenly into Child Protective Services in 2015. My nephew, black, a boy. The likelihood of being adopted outside of kinship, slim to none. Armani, 16 years old, black, a boy, with 5 years in the foster care system before I even knew his name. The likelihood of ever being adopted, yep, you guessed it, slim to none. While LaDarian and Armani were trying to survive and barely thrive in an overpopulated and underfunded foster care system, I was living my own life, doing well professionally. Having been a single father with a daughter who at that point was doing well in college, it was my time to live my life, right? Wrong. I felt unsettled, tireless, agitated. There are just too many of our black children stuck in ambiguity and in the limbo of the foster care system. In 2017, I legally adopted my nephew, LaDarian. Fast forward to 2019, I had no ties to this other young king, but I felt God instructed me to adopt him also, and I obeyed. Starting over with parenting should have been enough, right? Working with various foster care and adoption agencies to help bring awareness to the countless young black kings in the foster care system should have decreased my agitation, right? Joining the board of directors of Advantage Adoption, an organization that helps find permanent adoptive homes for children in foster care, should have led to some type of resolve, right? No, not at all. None of it felt like I had done enough. I now realize that every one of those experiences was laying the fundamental foundation for my life's mission, Kingdom Royale.
Kingdom Royale will be a luxury, state-of-the-art home for foster boys. Our first location will be in the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex. We will utilize the whole person approach that instills identity, empowers them to advocate for themselves, and enlightens them regarding new perspectives and limitless options that they thought were impossible. Though the young kings will attend the local public schools that are in proximity to Kingdom Royale, our at-home curriculum will broaden their worldview through participating in the arts, attending various cultural events, learning about and engaging in multifaceted discussions about current events and even relevant historical contexts, introducing them to gardening and landscaping and even caring for our animals on our farm and on-site stables. We just launched our Startup Capital campaign with the goal of raising $2.8 million. Now, why $2.8 million? Well, in 2017, I created a web series in which I performed random acts of kindness for targeting the homeless community. One of the most notable successes was that one of the videos went viral, garnering 28 million views. However, one of my biggest regrets is that I didn't raise a single dollar to help in implementing a more sustainable plan for the homeless community. So throughout the years, with much remorse, I reflected on not maximizing that moment. I knew if at that time, just 10% of the viewers donated $1, we would have raised at least $2.8 million that could have really established long-term support for the homeless community, or at least started a long-term initiative to do so. This is my do-over. This is our new beginning. Together, we can attack this at the root by specifically helping our homeless Black boys who are already disproportionately represented in the American foster care system. I'm Laterras and Whitfield. I've been nominated for 3 regional Emmys documenting my work with the homeless as well as my personal adoption journey. Despite those accolades, the greatest award for me is truly providing the infrastructure for a transformed life. Visit kingdomroyale.com for more details. Crown a king and make a donation today.
I hope you enjoyed this episode of the Dear Future Wifey podcast. Remember, be lit, live intentionally and transparently, and don't stop loving. Make sure to subscribe to our Dear Future Wifey YouTube channel. We're available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and Stitcher. We welcome your support. Simply share our podcast with your friends and family.